Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday night. Sorry I was a few minutes late. I had to delve out some motherly advice. Us moms were on call 24/7, right? Wow, this does feel a little different here being by myself. But I think it's going to be a fun show tonight, guys. And I just want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, whether you show up a little later or whether you watch me a few days later. Thank you guys so much. Jean, thank you. Gary, thank you. Bobby, thank you. Charlotte, thank you. Ray Daw, thank you so much for showing up. Dina, my buddy Dina. Her and I are going to get together soon. Ida Bustamante. Everybody loves to say your last name, Ida. Everybody. My nose and my allergies haven't bothered me all day, but I hit the go live button and their floodgates have opened. So yeah. I get the same thing with my last name too, Ida. Everybody, when they hear my name, they say my name and they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. Or when you go to a doctor's office down in Miami and they go to call you back to see the doctor and they just start speaking Spanish to you because they think you speak Spanish. And I'm like, hi, I'm from the cornfields of Indiana. I don't speak Spanish, although I understand a lot. So when they're talking in front of me, I know what they're saying. I just don't speak it. So, yeah. So tonight, I kind of wanted to talk about. I was on Jessica's, the Cryptid Huntress channel last night for a little bit, and we were yakking it up. And one of the things that we were kind of talking about was disclosure amongst cryptids and, ETs and that kind of thing. And so we were talking about that, just about the possibility of disclosure and why we haven't had disclosure yet. And so I thought it would be really, really cool just to kind of have a discussion about it tonight. And I have a treat for all of you because I have a returning friend jumping in to help me out tonight and have a great conversation. So everybody welcome Lee from the Raven Outpost.
Hey Marty, how you doing?
I am great. How are you? It's
Doing
been a
good, doing
long
good.
time, my friend.
It has.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? Working a lot?
I'm working a lot and taking a step back from all my research. I kind of, I kind of climbed down a couple of dark rabbit holes that I needed to climb out of.
Yeah, it happens. I mean,
you
you
know,
you you read one article and that's all it takes, and your mind just goes, and you can't stop it sometimes.
sometimes you can't. So how you
Yeah,
been?
I've been good. I'm not as nervous anymore.
That's
Thank goodness.
awesome. I
Thank
told you
goodness.
you were a natural.
Aw, still, I my show with you still has been my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Hands down, hands down, hands down. I've loved every interview I've done, and for the opportunity to have you back, I was like, yes.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah. So what do you know about this? I didn't know that this FBI file on Bigfoot even existed until I was Googling away the other day. So what do you know about this?
Well, it's been out for a while.
Hmm.
They disclosed their knowledge of it for a long time. It's been kept under wraps. You know what I'm saying? I didn't,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people, they disclose stuff without ever letting anybody know they disclose information.
Hmm.
And then there's this whole misinformation and this, that, and the other that leads you away from it. Why they do it, I have no idea. It makes no sense to me, but that's what they do.
Yeah, they do. And it was really interesting because when you go, and anybody can go on. Okay, number one, you can, if you just search on YouTube Bigfoot's FBI file, you're going to find there's hundreds of channels that have done different things on it and talked about
Hmm.
it, even showed pictures of it. So it's not like I'm showing or displaying or we're discussing anything brand spanking new, because it's not new. Um, but it was interesting when I was going through the it was like 22 pages is what I found online, and I was going through it, and it was really interesting. The one thing though that I found so interesting was whenever they were replying back to Peter Byrne, uh, it was like there was a draft. This agent would type up a draft, and when you look at it and you count all the little initials and all the little signatures, I mean, it had to go through 12 people before it actually went out to Peter Burns. So it was
Hmm.
interesting to see how many hands were in that pie. It was interesting to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting thing that I found out doing all my research is there's a lot that our government knows that they're not just, telling us about. I mean, that everybody knows that.
Hmm.
But what people don't seem to realize, and when it comes down to our president, our elected commander in chief, he's an outsider. He's a four-term, 8-term top um, fill in, you know, and they don't tell them anything. There are things about Area 51 that
Hmm.
Obama didn't know about. He wanted in there. They said, nope, that's above your pay grade. That's our president.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, they're not going to tell us anything. So we got to. It's up to us to figure all this stuff out.
Hmm.
And what you're doing right here, even though it's been done maybe 100 times, it doesn't matter. As
Hmm.
long as one more voice is saying, "Here you go. This
Yeah.
is the information. Take a look at it.
Yeah.
You're doing your job."
Yeah. I mean, it was a correspondence, the 22 page portion that I found. I mean, it was over a year of correspondence between the FBI and Peter Byrne, for literally at the very end of it, for them to just go, yeah, that hair that you sent us, it's really from a deer, you know, better luck
Right.
next time. Kind of, better luck next time. Here's your
Right.
samples back, you know.
I
That's
mean, there's
it.
sort.
It's crazy. I was like, a year. It took them a year to say all that. It was like, okay.
It makes you wonder what else they're hiding. And
Yeah.
if all these conspiracy theorists um, aren't crackpots, you know,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of them that have been right about a lot of things. I mean, okay, Alex Jones, for instance. People think what you want about the man. He was right about a lot of stuff because he just he stuck with it. He nosed in there. He actually did some journalism, and he got some answers. And he was he was dragged through the mud
Oh,
through a lot
yeah.
for a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of other people out there who are doing the same thing,
Mhm.
you know, and there's a target being drawn on their back too. So
Along with all of us.
along with all of us, yeah, I guarantee you, there's along you, me, and a few others.
Mhm. Oh, I'm sure.
But that's all right. It comes with the territory.
Well, I hope they get my coffee right.
That's right. That's all that matters.
No sugar, cream only. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just in
So what
case
do
they
you,
didn't already know.
so what do you think of it? What did you gather about it? I mean,
It was a whole year's worth of ridiculous correspondence that absolutely meant nothing.
Right.
So either that tells me either what they released on purpose was about nothing,
Mm-hmm.
or they just are just throwing out there all kinds of craziness. Like I don't, there was no rhyme or reason to any of it. It really wasn't. And it was kind of like, hey, this guy has this hair and he would like for the FBI to check it out and run some tests on it because they believe it to be a Sasquatch. Okay. Well, hey guys, can we do it? Well, no, we've never really done that before, so we're not going to do that. We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tell Peter Byrne that. And Peter Byrne writes him again and asks again. So he goes and so somebody else finally they're like, okay, we'll do it. Tell him to send it over. So Peter Byrne sends it. Months and months and months and months go by. Never hears from them. He reaches out to them again. And then that's when they finally, and we're talking, this is probably 14 months total, this whole thing. And they finally say, oh, yeah, we tested it. And it's deer hair. So sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Better. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that literally really was the 22 pages that they put out. So if there's more, I couldn't find more. But there has to be more. I can't imagine that just being it, you know.
Right. A few months ago, I was co-hosting Bigfoot Odyssey with Daniela,
Mm-hmm.
and while the show was live, she and I went through this pamphlet that she had received. Uh, it was hunting rules and regulations for a section
Yeah.
of Florida,
I have it. I have a copy of it.
and they plainly state skunk apes will not be taken.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot, and it's their admittance to its existence is hidden in jargon.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, taken, what are you going to kidnap it? No, it means it shall not be harvested, it shall not be killed, it's a protected species.
Mm-hmm. Because
So
just in case you do shoot one, it
yeah,
doesn't belong to you because you were
exa-
told you're not allowed to.
exactly.
It's ours now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I
It's
mean we
it's crazy.
so yeah, I mean the proof is out there. I mean, a lot of people just have to, if they really want it, they have to put their nose to the grindstone and start digging and rooting around and
Mm-hmm.
finding all this stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't, and it was interesting too. They actually had like a Xerox copy of the. Let me see here if it'll show on my camera. I don't know. Hold on here. They actually took it looks like a Xerox copy of the hairs. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh yeah.
Can you see that? It's pretty interesting. And they even talk about that that there was a piece of skin on it. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's some heavyweight evidence, really, if it
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's the chat saying over there? What do y'all think about this situation? What do you guys think about this? Let's see. Ray. I think Roosevelt was what? Bauman? Just my theory about Bauman. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Bowman,
Oh,
Bowman.
Bowman.
Yeah, this is the fellow that Roosevelt wrote about that had the Sasquatch encounter.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
In one of his memoirs. Yeah, and Teddy Roosevelt believed it, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why we have so many national parks. Just saying.
It makes sense. Wholeheartedly makes sense.
I mean, You take a look at the missing 411, and I'm not blaming this
Yeah.
on the forest folks, Sasquatch, the Sabe people, whatever, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call them. I'm not blaming it all on them. I'm not.
Hmm.
Um, but I just do find it funny that, not funny, haha, funny, weird, that a lot of these missing 411 cases happen in national parks,
Hmm.
national forests, government protected areas. So that's another little thing that a lot of people look at. There's a lot of other stuff going on, you know.
Yeah. Like when the Georgia Guidestones, I don't know, exploded, got blown up. I don't know, whatever happened to them. There's this. It's kind of, I think it's actually an English term. If I'm not Ray, you'll probably know. So tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think it's an English expression. It's a dead cat. You know,
Yeah.
the dead cat. Everybody's arguing at the dinner table. Everybody's going crazy, and somebody walks in and they throw a dead cat on the table, and then everybody's focus goes to the dead cat, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not paying any attention to what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just a theory, but I think it's interesting nonetheless.
No, I believe you're right about that. I really do.
Yeah.
There's truth in the lie, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes it believable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I was on the wrong display here. I just figured it out. See, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. And then
Uh,
and then today I have to go and apologize to like a bunch of people on my that are my Facebook friends because I didn't I didn't know I did it. I was like promoting my show today and that kind of thing. And I don't know what the heck I did, but somehow I created a group chat on Messenger. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, thanks. I'm so excited to be in the group. And I'm like, oh
uh-oh.
boy. So I have a whole lot of people I have to apologize to after the show because I didn't even realize I did it. I had no clue.
Wow.
Oh man, that's bad, right? That's bad.
Oh no!
Ugh, I'm learning.
In the scheme of things, that's not too bad. I don't reckon.
Yeah, you never know what could have been accidentally sent. I got to watch out for that stuff.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Want to talk a little UFO stuff?
Yeah. What you got?
Okay, so hold on. Which one do we want to talk about first? I have a couple. Okay, so interesting. I found an article again when I was doing some research on disclosure. There was an article. Sorry, the lighting in here is so bad. There was an article a couple of weeks ago. I can't see the date. July. It was July. No, June. I'm sorry, June 29th of 2022. And you watched that Skinwalker Ranch?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
that that the astrophysicist Dr. Travis Taylor. So apparently he is going to because he's a former DoD guy, right? He's a former astrophysicist for DoD, and they have chosen him to head up the new space task force.
Interesting.
And people are very upset about it. They're feeling some kind of way about all this. And you want to know why?
Why is that?
Because he also talks about that he believes in paranormal and the supernatural. And how dare this particular guy who believes in something paranormal and supernatural be the head of the task force?
Mm-hmm.
Space Task Force. That I was like, I'm happy about that. They're starting to learn something. They're starting to pay attention to all of us who are saying there's a connection, folks.
Amen. It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected. There's a universal consciousness, and it's when you and I've been saying this for a couple of years now that quantum physics is going to be the science that determines how we figure things out. It's like Nikola Tesla said, if you want to figure out the secrets of the universe, you study energy, frequency, and vibration. And so that's all about. And it's I mean, you think about it, and if you got someone who believes in the paranormal, and what is paranormal? It's part normal. It's something we don't understand.
Understand.
And
Exactly.
and there's a lot of technology out there, and a lot of um, things that are going on that a lot of us would attribute to magic. And I mean, you take your cell phone, you take this, um 40, 50 years ago, if you would have brought that to someone's attention, showed them how quickly you can access information, they would have said it was magic. So a lot of this
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that's going on, I believe a lot of this stuff that's going on right now can basically be explained through science and through certain fields. Theoretical physics, quantum physics. You know, and I get to looking at string theory and all that stuff. And I know I'm getting a little deep, but
No,
I mean,
not for my peeps. My peeps, they're great. They understand this stuff better than I do, even. So, bring
I
it
mean
on.
it's. hmm I mean it's just something we just don't understand yet,
Hmm.
and us as a people, humans have a tendency to have a lot of hubris and unexplained science, right? We have a lot of hubris and arrogance to believe that we are the begin all end all in the universe, and that we are the ones whose focus has been put on by the quote unquote great creator. I just don't believe that. And people might try and hold my feet to the fire about that, but I just don't see it. And it's changed my point of view on a lot of things, going diving down all these rabbit holes. And when it comes, and it all started with me researching Sasquatch. And a lot of people have driven down the same road I've been on. And I mean, take Ron Moorhead for instance. Ron
Hmm.
started out and they recorded those sounds up in the Sierras, and next thing you know, he's writing a book on quantum physics and its relation to Sasquatch. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes. Yeah. It's
there's
oh my
something
God.
more. There's something
There's
more to this. There's something so much more that we're not seeing or not willing to see. There's so many people that just want to see what's right here and not the big picture.
hmm
Yeah,
yeah. It's pretty I don't know, I think more and more people are really starting to pay attention though.
I
Or at
believe so.
least yeah, they're starting to their dog ears I think are going up for once in their lives, and I think they're starting to pay much more attention, you know, over the last oh my gosh, I don't even the last 2.5 years since COVID. This has been a very trying time, you know,
It
for our
really had
planet, for the
exact.
planet on a
Mm-hmm.
planetary level. Yeah, yeah. And okay, so the other interesting piece of information that this was actually from an article dated July 13th of 2022. Um, and I found this to be so interesting because okay, so we just talked about the whole, FBI file on Bigfoot and how they're like not really wanting to, don't tell, be careful what we tell them, right? Kind of like theme to it. And then this article is a bipartisan amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act was passed. Okay. And what it basically does is that it gives everybody, like, it gives all of the, like, the military, it gives, like, the contractors and anybody who wants to come forward and make a report, some sort of like a UAP report, that they're not going to have any blowback from it if they do. And I'm like, we've come a long way, maybe. I don't know.
Well, that sounds promising.
Mm-hmm.
It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. And so it's gonna be interesting. I'm trying to see when it. Let's see. It said the article actually said the amnesty provision covers any event relating to unidentified aerial phenomena, as well as any government or government contractor activity or program related to unidentified aerial phenomena. Interesting, right?
Very. We could have used that a few years ago.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we could have. Let's see what the peeps are saying over here. Miss Jean, I think that sounds crazy. What if it is a way to get people to come to them so that they can be threatened? Never trust your government. Good point.
Yeah, I trust our government about as far as I could spit them. To be honest, and I don't care who knows it, but it's true.
I
It's
probably won't get
true.
a tax return next year now, so
I do apologize.
That's okay. I don't get back that much anyway. They don't let me get so much back, so that's all
I
right. I'm
hear
probably
you.
not missing out on nothing. Let's see. Pyromedic. I like the line in the movie Mission to Mars where the lead scientist was asked why he turned to religion. His answer, because science couldn't explain the important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I like that, Pyromedic. Thank you. That's interesting. That's thought provoking for sure. Ray, come on. Did I miss one from Ray? Maybe. I don't know. Did I miss something?
No, she did say, yeah, that's it. That's what I was just
There we
looking
go.
at. Esoteric.
Esoterica and anything ethereal is quantum.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring her home. She's so smart. My God. She puts Google
Yeah,
to shame.
I know, right? She's my, she's my guru.
Yeah. You can see why. It's amazing. So yeah, those are a couple of interesting things that happened in the last couple of weeks, and nobody ever knew about them.
Mm-hmm. They bury it.
Yeah.
They bury it.
It, I mean, especially like, hey guys, everybody in the military who was told, hey, we'll kill you if you say anything, you can say something now. So, I mean, you'd think
Mm-hmm.
more people would want to know that. So, I don't know. It's a little sketchy. It's sus. That's what my grandchildren say.
Yeah, it's
Sus,
us.
Nonna. It's
Yeah,
sus, Nonna.
it's a fact, though. They're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Hey, Jess. The cryptid huntress in the house. Let's see. Hi, Addie. Good to see you. Who did I miss? Brown Dwarf. Who? Sugar Britches. Hi. Hi, Miss Sharon. If I missed anybody else, I'm so sorry. But yeah, Matt and I, since the last time you and I spoke, he and I went uh we went to an area down here, and we did it. It was a nighttime thing, and I don't want to disclose where it is. I'm not going to go there. Not going to go there. But interestingly enough, I mean, it's government. It's government land, but it's I mean, you're allowed to be in there from like from dawn to dusk, but there were some very interesting looking metal boxes all through there. And I don't know what the heck they're doing, but what their heck they're for, but they're peppered throughout, and big signs that say you're under surveillance and all kinds of silliness. And we were parked. We got there about an hour before dark, so we kind of went back on the trail, and we kind of walked out 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes out and 30 minutes back. And we get back to the car, and we literally parked at the front at, like, as soon as you drive in. I'm sorry, my hair is making me crazy. As soon as you pull in, you pull straight in, and there's like 4 parking spaces for 4 cars. That's it. And it's kind of like, it looks like a little like corral, like a wooden corral. And so we walked out, came back, sitting in the car, and we were doing some crazy paranormal ET experiment Matt's been wanting to get me to do. So we were doing that. And while we were waiting on one of his friends to show up, and his friend shows up, and I mean, right at the very front entrance to this place, in the parking lot, we start having rocks thrown at us. The first 3 were, yeah, it was crazy. So there were 5 in total. Rock number 1 hit his friend's Hummer on the side. Rock number 2 hit his windshield so hard it put a nick in it.
Oh, good Lord.
Rock number 3 landed on the roof, because we were looking for the other 2 rocks, but we couldn't find the rocks. And rock 3 landed square in the middle of the hood of the roof of my car. And that rock we photographed, and we put it in a baggie, and because it was wet and it hadn't rained. So Matt's thinking, like, maybe it had it in its mouth or something, or sweat, but it was wet. It was soaking wet. Rock number 4 hits his friend's Hummer again, and this time it's not like a little. It was like this, about like that big. And I'm like, this one we found, and it had a hair on it, a clear hair. Perfectly clear hair, a little, kind of like look like a little curly Q.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That's
So,
awesome.
uh-huh. And so we're looking at this rock, and we're just like, hey, we're like, and we're not kind of paying too much attention. But I started feeling a bunch of anxiety, but I knew it wasn't my anxiety. So I was like, okay, I think I'm picking up their anxiety, and I think we need to go, and I think we've overstayed our welcome. So we start kind of packing up, but we weren't going, I guess, fast enough. And then they threw a rock like this big.
Good Lord.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You're going to tell me that somehow what that entire interaction was on camera someplace, because we were right at the entrance. It was crazy. It was crazy. We had
These
some. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. These
No.
boxes, how big are they?
I would say maybe about 14 inches tall, maybe 8 inches deep, maybe maybe 10 inch, no, about 8 inches deep. And You don't, I mean, there's like there's holes or something there, but you don't know, you can't see in it. Like you can't tell what's in there. So, but here's another interesting thing. I was fine other than feeling that like anxiety that I was feeling, and I knew it wasn't my anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, I woke up so ill. I could not. I was 3 days, 3 days in bed. I every time I tried to sit up, stand up, and I felt like I was going to pass out, like I was going to faint, and it was bad. I had to cancel my show that week. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. And I don't know if there was something. Matt was trying to use his parabolic dish, but there was some kind of interference, and it he couldn't even use it. There was so much interference. So I don't know if there's something that's being emitted from these said boxes. I don't know if it's like a counter that it's counting deer. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly, but it seemed awful weird that I got so sick for 3 days.
Were you the only one?
Matt got a little sick, not as bad as me, and his friend got sick too. Yeah. Hmm.
All that sounds like it. What is associated with infrasound. A lot of people
Hmm.
who've reportedly been hit by infrasound. Now, is it always infrasound? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be something else entirely that
Yeah.
affected you.
Yeah.
Um, but
It's like I don't know if it's something that they have there that's keeping beings where they're supposed to be,
mm-hmm.
or keeping other beings out. I don't know. But I don't know. It was a really crazy night. And we did get a UFO. We did call in a UFO. Got that on camera. We filmed it. So it was pretty cool. It was a
the
fun
ex-
night.
the experiment you were trying, was it a CE5?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the CE5. Matt's we've kind of combined the Estes method with the Gansfeld experiment.
Okay.
So basically, I'm blindfolded, and then a pair of yeah, noise canceling headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to, like, a spirit box, and so I don't hear anything other than what's coming through the headphones. And Matt asks questions, and as whatever it is I hear, I just say. And we've been doing this. I don't know how many times we've done it now. I think we've done it like four times, 5 times. Interesting results. We videotape them each time, and but I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it because I'm just saying it's really see, it's kind of interesting because for the person who's listening and just saying whatever you're hearing, you're honestly a little bit detached from reality a little bit, because you have red lights, right,
Mm-hmm.
that are like, you know on your eyes, and you're it's it's like a sensory deprivation that you go through, where you're not aware of anything around you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of trippy. It's kind of trippy. So if there was one time when I literally, there was a it's hard to explain. I just kept feeling like it's hard to describe it, like a things all of a sudden sped up, got really, really, really fast. And what I was hearing was coming quick, 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 quick. Usually there's, a little lull in between what you may hear. So, but it was coming fast, 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 fast. And it just got so fast that it felt like my whole head was just like vibrating, like going like this, like back and forth. And I was like, oh my God, like, whoa, and I was like, okay, enough. I'm done. I'm pulling myself out. Usually Matt will pull me out. I pulled myself out. I was like, I can't. I don't know what the heck just happened there. I don't know what it was, but it was weird as hell. So
Wow.
I wouldn't recommend it if you don't know what you're doing.
It's
But
almost like it's almost like being forcing yourself into the role of a medium.
yes.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
you are the conduit.
Right.
So
You're
then that could,
channeling.
yeah, you are channeling,
Yeah.
and you are you might put yourself through some harm if you're not careful.
Yeah, yeah, we do a lot of things to keep ourselves, careful, and we're, protections and things like that, but still
Right.
you still don't know. You still don't know. Um
Absolutely.
and I have I think one of the things that it's important when you're doing these kind of things is you have to be able to read energy to know
Hmm.
what it is you're channeling, right?
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
so if you're not able to do that, then this is not something that anybody should try. If you're not able to kind of try and discern the energy that is coming through, um, to know whether it's, something that's positive, of a high vibration,
Hmm.
high frequency,
Hmm.
not a low vibration entity or anything like that. So, yeah. I mean, there was one of the sessions was really crazy. It was talking about Indrid Cold from the Indrid Cold story is I'm not going to get into it, but y'all
Okay.
can Google Indrid Cold, the story of Indrid Cold. He's supposedly was an alien that was here, and he met, had an interaction with someone, this it's kind of crazy. It's a crazy, crazy story. I don't know. All I know is that it did come up in that session. There was a lot of other things that came up in that session as well, talking about like opening a door that no, not opening a door, but the door is open and it's going to be closing soon. What that actually meant, what they meant by that, or what it was in reference to, we couldn't actually get an answer to, but that was something that came through.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a lot of weird shit.
That's cool though. That's true. Actual research involves a little bit of risk sometimes.
Yeah.
When I would go out, I make my videos. When I was boots on the ground. I was out there by myself, and a lot of people would say, "You got to take somebody with you." Well, I didn't have anybody to go with me, and so I mean, and I was looking for answers, and I wasn't going to let that stop me. So, I mean, I got out there and did what I had to do. I mean, I
Mhm.
gathered a little bit of evidence, but what evidence I gathered for myself was enough for me to say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Because you do get down, there are times in this research where, and I've done it not all that long ago, I took a 2 week break. I was sick and not feeling well. And so even though it was only 2 weeks, I did, and it was because I was sick, but I didn't realize how much I really needed the break mentally.
hmm yeah,
um it's a lot, and especially to prepare for my show. I like to, I go and I watch how many other channels. I want to hear what they all have to say, and if it's something
hmm
interesting or I see an interesting guest, and it's kind of like, um I but I did not even realize how bad I needed that 2 week break.
yeah.
I put it all down. I put it all down. I just, when once in a blue moon, I'd check Facebook and that'd be it.
Well,
I had to stop.
I've been gone a month, it's been a month since I've done anything. But actually it's been over a month since I've done anything. My channel has just sat right there and done absolutely nothing. And I had to do this.
And we all
I
missed you.
really did. Well, I've missed you
We
guys
did.
too. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you because there's that was my therapy. But
Yeah.
a lot of these shows, I would watch probably about the same shows you watch, but my studies and my research kept me away from all that, and I got
Hmm.
buried in it. And I started this new job, and next thing you know, I'm realizing that hey, I really need to take a break
Yeah.
because I didn't realize how energy deprived I was. I mean, it takes a lot out of you. So I understand what you're saying. I really do. And it takes a toll on your mental faculties, your
Hmm.
spiritual faculties, your emotional. I mean, I was a hot mess. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, what have I done? But I've reevaluated everything, and I thought about. I'll be honest with you, Marty, I toyed with the idea of not even coming back because of how bad things were. But I got to thinking about it one morning. I was headed into work, and I had one more training to go through. This guy was on the road with me, and we got to talking about this, that, and the third, and the paranormal come up. And something told me that morning that something was going to happen. I said, okay, well, if it happens, it happens. It don't, it don't. But this guy told me some things that he had never told anybody else. And he told me about his encounter with an angel when he was at his lowest. And I got to thinking, dude, this is it. This is my sign. This is telling me I need to get back into it. And I really need to get out here and help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I was going to do a show tonight, but you and something told me, you contacted me. Hey, would you want to come on the show? I said, that's it. That's how I'm going to get back into it. And I want to thank you, Marty. I really do.
Aw.
Uh,
No need to thank me. I'm very blessed and honored that you decided to come on tonight with me. I have the utmost respect for you, Lee. I can tell you, I'm telling you, we all missed you so much. Tell him,
Thank
everybody
you.
in chat, all y'all, tell him right now how much we all missed his shows.
I appreciate it. I really do.
You know, and if anyone that's watching today, tomorrow, next week, go to the Ravens Outpost, subscribe, turn on the notification bells, because let me tell you, you're missing out when you don't check out his channel. So, and subscribe. You're amazing, and I'm glad that you've at least you had you had your break, and now you can come back 10 times stronger.
Yeah.
And we need it, because when we're just like expending all of our energy, and I don't just mean like you're tired, I mean mental, physical, spiritual, just like you talked about, and to your point, it can drain you quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're
Yeah.
not finding ways to continue to protect ourselves from negative energies that are out in the
Mm-hmm.
world, and meditate, get some of the stress out, and just guys, find something to love yourself with, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. Whatever it is, and if it's make sure it's healthy, it's a healthy outlet, and do whatever you need to. Self-care is super important. I learned that
Absolutely.
yeah, I learned that lesson in the wrong way because I got very ill a few years ago. So I understand it. I understand it very, very much. And my body will just say, "You're done." And I literally have to listen to my body, and I have to just lay down. Like, I have to do it because if I just push and push and push and push and push and push, because that's what I like to do, is push myself and push myself to there's nothing left. And I had to
Right.
learn that I can't do that anymore. So yeah, I'm
Yep.
I'm glad you're coming back.
Yeah, I am
Yes,
coming back. Yeah.
yes.
I think that's Wednesdays is going to be. I'm going to do one show a week, and it's going to be Wednesdays.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
Awesome.
going to be. It's going to be a fun ride. You talked about protecting yourself, and that's one thing I did fail in doing there for a while. I got so wrapped up in things, and I've got to learn this and I've got to learn that. And, I had all this stuff. Is you just picture this college kid with all these books on his desk, and he's looking at three or four different,
Right.
books while writing down in two. And that's where I was at. And I wasn't paying attention what else was going on around me. So I wasn't doing my due diligence in protecting myself. So I let a lot of that dark energy in and was taking me over.
Yeah, and it's easily done. Very easily done. Ida.
Thank you,
Yes,
Ida.
Lee, you've been missed. And Ray, he knows I love him.
I love you too, Ray. Mm,
Can't love anyone if you don't love yourself first.
Eddie,
Very
you're
true.
right. You're right.
Very, very true, Eddie. Yes. And the Cryptid Huntress, Miss Jessica. Oh, I had such a good time doing a show with her last night. That was a lot of fun. Loving yourself, loving yourself. I number one most important. If you cannot love yourself, you'll always have trouble truly loving life and others. That
Mm-hmm.
is so true, Amber.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Sandra. I see you slid in here.
Sandra, it's been a while.
Miss Sandra Piper. Missed you, girl. Where you been? Trying to there was a there was something that I've still been wanting to do an entire show just on post traumatic stress disorder, and I think I am going to do
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, but I've been wanting to do a second show, and Matt's been wanting to do a second show. So we actually are going to. It's going to be in August, and we're going to do a show. So we're going to do a show together.
Nice.
Yeah. So he and I are going to do a show together, mom and son. It's
That's
gonna be fun
awesome.
though. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though, because we kind of have a little format that we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like laid back Marty and laid back Matt, like really laid back. Like he and I together are hilarious. Like we bust on each other so bad. Like I can't. Both of my sons are like that with me. They love to tease me and joke around and and
Yep.
Miss Amber. PTSD comes in all shapes and sizes. I think we've all either experienced it or know someone who has. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first time that I had started having symptoms of PTSD is when I was 8.5 months pregnant with Matt, actually, during Hurricane Andrew.
Mm.
And I had a 2.5-year old, and I basically had to go through it by myself. And that was kind of terrifying. That was very terrifying. People here were going crazy. It was, back in the early 90s, and it had been a very, very long time since a hurricane had came anywhere near our area in South Florida. And people were acting like animals.
Mm-hmm.
And we were without power for almost an entire month. And It was scary. People were looting everywhere. I mean, I was terrified, terrified.
I
It was
imagine.
it was really rough. So that was the very first time that I um, started showing signs and symptoms of PTSD.
Yeah, I can't imagine all that, man. That's just,
Yeah,
that's
it,
rough.
yeah, yeah. It was rough. It was scary, and I don't ever want to go through that again. So let me tell you, I have a million boxes of batteries, and I have, I I'm prepared now. After that hurricane, let me tell you what, every year I prepare. People think I'm crazy and I don't care, but I'll be the person who's got toothpaste when you need it.
That's right. That's right. Oh Lord.
And the bug spray.
Oh God. Yeah, we gotta keep bug spray around here.
Yeah. And the sunblock, you know.
My poor
Supplies,
wife.
supply party over at Marty's house.
Let me tell you about bug spray. The bugs will pass right by me to get to my wife. I'm not
Oh my
kidding you. I've,
goodness.
I've watched it happen. No joke. They just pass right by me and go straight to her. I'm like, what? She said, I told you I can't be outside. She won't go camping with me just for that reason.
I know. I actually got when we were at the Florida Skunk Ape Convention a couple months ago, I got like a door. I mean, they were doing raffles, and I got this like little bag, and it had this like it's one of the offs, and I can't remember what it is right now. But I'm going to tell you what, that stuff works the best I've ever. You just spray it on you, and they don't come anywhere near you. You can hear them like a foot away from you, but yet they're not landing on you. It's the best. I'll text you and I'll let you know what it is. It's so good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I
I
can't
would.
imagine what kind of chemicals I'm actually putting on my skin, but
Oh my gosh.
it works. It works. Kind of like a gun, better to have it and not need it. Yep, that's right. You got
Yeah,
it. 100%
absolutely.
there. Interesting. Well, we are coming up on an hour. What do you want to
Yeah.
do?
Well,
You want to go so you can go and spend some time with your peeps?
well, mm, if you want to keep on going, I'm good.
Oh, all right. All right. All right. I would thought, well, maybe you might want to go. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Trying to think here. Not a whole. I don't know. Did you happen to see my interview I did with Robin McCrae last week?
No, I didn't. I have not. I've missed
Yeah,
that one.
you gotta check that out. You gotta check that out. She's very, very, very interesting. Her story is amazing, and I will tell you, she's legit. She really is. Like there's things that privately that she has said to me that I'm going to tell you, there's no way she could have known. No way. No way in hell she could have known.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, I'm going to, you know, but she's legit. And you know what I love so much about her is that she's not one of these like she will help anybody. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're having problems with Sasquatch like on your property, you can contact her and she will try to help you. Like that's one of the things that she does with her gift is she literally. So
Can
okay,
she
so
can she communicate with them?
yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
She can communicate with them. And she's legit. I'm telling you, Lee, she's legit. I'll tell you
That's
backstage.
okay.
But yeah, and one of the things that she had said to me was kind of shocked the daylights out of me. She said that there's a female that's been trying to mind speak with me. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So she says, yeah, she's tried to mind speak with you a couple times, but, and I'm like, but I kept listening. I was, whenever I go out, whenever Matt and I are out there, I always say, hey, I always let them know I'm there. We're there with respect, and love, and whatever. But I always kind of say to them and let them know that, mentally, that I'm telling this to them mentally, that I'm open for an interaction if they're willing to have an interaction. So, um, so she says, yeah, she even gives me her name. She gave me her name. And I was like, gave me her name. And then later on in the show, I had said something like, well, is there something that she wants from me? Is there something that she would like for me to get for her or give to her or something? And so she said that she wants a red ribbon for her hair. So I said to after the show was over, I said to myself, oh darn, I should have just asked her, like, hey, where am I supposed to take this red ribbon? And there's only been like a couple of places. There's only two different places that this could have happened. But Robin, what she was explaining is that it's not necessarily that you're hearing actual audible like words in your head from some other being in your head. It's not like that. She said for some people it can be, but for many others, it's a deep knowing, a sense of knowing, a thought comes or an
Mm-hmm.
image or something like that. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So all week long, I've been kind of thinking about this whole red ribbon thing, and I'm like, gosh, where am I supposed to take this red ribbon? I should have asked Robin. And I had planned all week long to reach out to her and ask her if she knew, but I never got around to it. I was so busy. So the other night I come home and I'm like, in my craft box, I think I got some red ribbon. So I go hunting and I can't find like red ribbon, not like, not this color red. All I had was some like a ribbon that was like the color of like red wine, the deep red wine color. But I'm like, hey, yeah, it's kind of red. This will work. I cut off the piece, and I was like, I put it on the dresser. I'm walking out of the bedroom and all of a sudden, something stopped me dead in my tracks, stopped me at the top of my stairs, and I hear, "That won't work. It's not red enough."
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
That won't work. It's not red enough.
Yep. And I said, "Where am I supposed to put this ribbon for you?" She says, "Don't worry about that. I'll come to you."
Dude, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I had my incident, I was in the wrong mindset. I was really aggressive. Um, I guess there was a little bit of fear, but there was a lot more bravado. And when they got into my head, there was I s- it, a lot of it was transferred by, it was almost like pictures, images
Hmm.
and feeling. It's hard to explain, but you did a pretty damn good job of explaining it. It feeling, pictures, and it all translated into what they wanted me to know, and that
Hmm.
was to get the hell out of there where I was at. And it was so profound, it was so powerful that I had no choice but to pay attention to what they had to say.
Hmm.
And then I left, and it changed me in my way of thinking, for the simple fact that after a certain point, I'm like, instead of going into the woods like some Neanderthal. Won't you go in with an open mind, an open heart, and see what happens? Communicate like that. And actually, when you brought this up, and Ray made a mention of it, and we were talking about communication, and where there's a lot of, yeah, when we were talking about communication and different ways of doing it. These are a highly intelligent species,
Hmm.
a lot more intelligent than some people will give them credit for. Um, there's a lot out there, a lot of people out there that want to treat these people like animals when they're not, just because they're so much different than us, and because of how they look.
Hmm.
But that is awesome that she communicated with you like that. That's just wow. And I think it's another way of doing things,
Yeah.
another way of researching, and maybe if we go into the field with that type of mentality, hey, maybe we'll get a lot more than putting apples on a post.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, I never imagined in a million years that it would happen. Robin also talks about, because I've shared this many times on my show and other shows. Whenever we've gone out and whenever we've had an interaction, right? Whenever there was a legit interaction that we have with them, I've always, at some point, there comes this almost it literally physically I feel it. I feel like something gently pushing back and kind of saying, okay, don't, this is, don't come past this line, this imaginary line. And I actually can feel the push. And Robin was saying that it's what they call, the Sasquatch call, the wall of fear, and they project it on us when we are coming too close to where maybe some females are, or children, or when there's juveniles around, or infants and that kind of thing, or that they're, maybe you're coming into them hunting area or something, and that's what they will use, and you will feel that. So I found that interesting that she talked about that. And she straight up said, yeah, they can cloak. They can cloak. They can do the shimmer thingy. Um, she even confirmed that a photo that Matt and I have, we caught one phasing out. He's kind of half there, half not there. It's
yeah.
really, yeah, really interesting. Yeah, we've got some really interesting things that are going to be coming out in Matt's film, and there's a lot of stuff that we have that we don't put out there, and you and I've talked about that before, Lee. That
Hmm.
just vetting your own evidence,
Right.
and I know that a lot of people have been getting a little, for lack of a better term, anxious. And I think frustration is happening, or maybe happening a little bit, with how long it's taking him to get this film out. But, I will tell you, watching this kid work on this film, it's been amazing. I don't know how he finds time to do it, but what I can tell you is some of the timing issue has been because he's getting certain things vetted. There are certain um, portions of the film that are going to have evidence that he needed to have vetted prior to the release of the film. So, that's really important for him and for for the because we don't, just putting something out there and saying, well, yeah, this is what I say it is. We didn't want to do that, and he didn't want to do that, and he felt a very big responsibility to vet some of this evidence, and to not just one person, to multiple people in the communities, So he felt that it was very important. It's going to definitely be a thought provoking film, and it's going to trigger people. It, I'm just saying, it's going to trigger people.
Good for him.
Hmm.
Good for you. I
Yeah.
mean, if it doesn't make you think, you know, I think that it doesn't really serve much of a purpose if it's just regurgitating the same old, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. And this is a serious film. This is a serious film. This is not. This isn't going to be one of those. I'm not going to use the description I was going to use, but it's 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 gonna be a heck of a lot better than a lot of stuff that's out there.
That's awesome. I can't
I
wait.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Amber. I love you too. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Um, yeah, it's gonna be amazing, and he's doing that film, but as he's kind of had a little bit of time waiting on things to be vetted and stuff like that, he has been working on another one. It's called it's going to be I think it's going to be a series at some point. I think he's going to have several parts to it, and Panhandle Monsters. So so he's kind of working on something else on like a little side project um at the same time. So, and three kids and a full-time job. And I don't know how he does it.
I
It's
don't know.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah. But the trailer to the documentary that he's working on and the trailer to Panhandle Monsters are both on his channel. If you guys want to go over there and check it out, it's Supernatural Spectrum, and both of those are on his channel for you guys to see.
Sweet.
Hmm. It's gonna be great. I mean, I'm gonna be in it only because we researched together. You know what I mean? But it is not. It's not. The film is definitely, it's Matt's journey. It's Matt's journey, and it's called "Fear from Fear to Understanding," and it's gonna be a blast. Have you had a chance? Hey, have you seen A Flash of Beauty? Bigfoot revealed.
No, I haven't. This is the first time I've heard
Oh,
of it.
you have to check it out. It came out. Hold on, let me think. What are we in? July? End of
Hmm.
May 31st. Actually, it came out May 31st. Check it out. Everybody, go check it out. They do have a YouTube channel, and I think you can get it on YouTube or Amazon. And I think it was maybe $5 or something to buy or rent. Or it's worth it. People, go check out that. And there's going to be a second part, but the first part is basically where they're kind of talking about Bigfoot and kind of going. I'm just going to tell you guys, you're going to see stuff in that film that has never been released before, that none of us have seen before, released in that film. Go check it out. And then the next one is going to be about like paranormal Bigfoot.
Yeah,
It's gonna be good too. So
that's
that's
that's right up my alley.
oh yeah, it's a flash of beauty, Bigfoot revealed. And one of the things I loved about it is because it really really does not approach it as this, one-sided, just one-dimensional flesh and blood, one single Bigfoot running around. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Uh
it's
huh.
not it's not that. They're not the boogeyman, they're not the monsters. So it was really it's powerful. It definitely will invoke a lot. It'll trigger you. I'm going to use the word again. It will trigger you. It will it'll trigger you into a place of understanding, I feel like, and a place of love, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be It's that's going to be an amazing show. The next one, when they do the one on when they talk about the paranormal, oh yeah, it's going to be great. It's really really good. And Mel, I think Mel is in the very beginning. Mel Scahan, and he is a member of the Yakima tribe in up in Washington State. Matt, actually, he was Matt. I think he was Matt's first guest, and Matt's had him on a couple times. And he was in the forestry. He worked for the Yakima tribe, and he was 40
Oh,
something years in their forestry management division, and has had a lot, seen a lot, and a lot of his personal photos you will see in that film as well. And I think he shared some of those out on Matt's channel. And I think he might have been on a few other podcasts, but he doesn't show his photos around all that much. And he got a couple of photos of a nest on the side of a mountain, and it's cool. It's cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on in the chat? Chat is popping. Let's see. Pyromedic. There's a new video out where a guy is filming something in a tree. It drops down like Predator, and the tree top comes down after it. Really? Where
Hmm.
where can we see that?
Yeah, man.
Um, where's that at? It's on YouTube, or you saw it on Facebook? I mean, there's a whole bunch of Facebook stuff going around right now.
Pyro buddy,
Which,
elaborate, man.
yeah, Pyro, elaborate while I fix my hair. Sorry. It's like, ah,
There's
it's driving me nuts.
a lot of people just now showing up.
I know. So good. Daily Dan, the good stuff. Oh, hey, Marquetta. How are you, hun? And right. Yeah, exactly. Give us a link, Pyro Medic. Amber wants that link. Get us a link. Strangeland is starting a channel soon. He has a ton of cool stuff. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. Most of my events seem like interdimensional technology possibilities. Yeah, Robin talked about that when on my show last week. She talked about that Sasquatch have the ability to be flesh and blood. They can also travel through portals if they want to. That they can be interdimensional. And um, I asked her. I said, "What do they say that they are?" And her answer kind of surprised me a little bit. She said that Sasquatch says that they are human ET hybrids.
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't shock me one bit. That doesn't shock me one bit.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they can come to you in in spirit form. They
Mm-hmm.
can come to you physical form but cloaked. And that's why everybody's like, "Oh, I saw it and then it ducked down and I never heard it leave. I should have heard it, or it was so quiet, or I never heard it move, and I should have been able to hear, cuz they didn't go anywhere. They just cloaked."
I've been out and I've found footprints. And when I say footprints, I mean in multiple times that I've found one print and that was it. It's like, where'd the rest of it go?
Mhm.
and it left such an impression. I've got one video where this impression is just so deep in the earth. This thing had to weigh close to 1,000 pounds to make this. I'm I'm 270. I'm I'm not a little fella. I was pressing. I was making as much pressure as I could right beside of it, and I couldn't make a dent in the earth compared to
Mm.
what. I mean, you could tell where it was just a hard step and push off, and it was gone. Nothing else, nothing behind it, nothing in front of it. Now, the last time I got any type of video evidence of footprints, I was in a creek bed. I got two partials and one full print. Now, the one partial to full to partial was there was a 5.5 foot stride between them.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, yeah, 5.5 foot.
That's a big boy
I had
or girl.
I could have been either one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my little boy was with me. And I got a picture of his little foot next to that Bigfoot. It's like, great day.
I'm telling you, I she was she. You got to watch the show. She literally was almost. She answered every single one of my questions, and I had a list, a list,
I'm going to
and
go
I
back and watch it
was.
tonight.
It's really really good. And a lot of it is kind of like common sense, but yet then there's other parts where you're like, how could she have known that, or how could I'm telling you, it's and she's legit. Pyromedic. It was in a short on Facebook. I watched it 10 times, moved on, then couldn't find it again. Sorry, I'm not Facebook savvy. Neither am I, apparently, creating
Yeah,
chats and stuff. Didn't even know I did it.
lots of times when
Um,
they're gone, they're gone.
I need it. If anyone wants to volunteer to like take care of my social media,
Yeah, I
Matt
get it.
Matt would do it if he had time, but I do the best I can. What else was Robin telling me that was very interesting? There was so much. Um, she says Dog Man. She talks because she talks just about everything. Dog Man say that they are canine human ET.
I believe that.
So I found that to be interesting. What else did we talk about? I'm going to do another show though, but here's what I want to do. I want to do another show with Robin, and I want to have Amber from Amber's Paraworld, and I want to have my friend Dina, and I want to have the two of them come on with me, and then because I mean, I can come up with questions, but Amber, the aspect I think Amber will bring to that kind of show is she is also a medium, and she is, a psychic, and she's, her and Robin kind of do the same kind of thing. And I think it would be interesting to see that dynamic between the two of them having a conversation and discussing things that Amber would like to know. And
Absolutely.
then my friend Dina, who is fabulous, and she's in a lot of shows and hears a lot of things, and she's very knowledgeable, and I think it would just be neat to have somebody else asking Robin you know questions that the audience would want to ask. So I thought that might be an interesting show. I want to try and set that up between those three ladies, um, for the next month. I want to do that. And then I met Matt and I were together on DA Ex Machina show, and one of the guys that's always on that show that hosts with Anthony and DA, his name is Doc, and he puts together like excuse me, he puts together like tourniquet kits and safety type things, like medical safety kind of kits that he puts together. And I thought maybe it'd be interesting to kind of have a show where we kind of talk about, hey, when you're out there and you're out researching and how to protect yourself and things that you want to take with you, even though you think they aren't important, but they are, and they could save your life. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm thinking about having a show with him too, so we can kind of talk about, and you know, it's called Dark An I think it's Dark Angel Medical is his company, is his website and company, and he has, yeah, cool stuff. So I
That's
want to do
awesome.
that. Yeah.
It's good to cover those type of bases too, because there's a lot of people who just go out and just don't think
Hmm.
about you know that
Yeah.
aspect. If something happens, if something happens, they get off trail and they start
Yeah.
messing around. Next thing you know, they've slipped and fallen on a rock and twisted an ankle and got some deep laceration or abrasion, and they have absolutely nothing to treat it with.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. It only takes a few moments
yep.
for something, you step wrong, you turn wrong, you fall, it's a lot of things. Snake bites. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
especially like a tourniquet is especially, super important for snake bites, that's like a big thing. And I mean, I have my snake boots, but you never know.
Yep.
They're heavy as heck. I hate using them. I hate wearing them, but I know in Florida you have to, you know.
Well, you always look for snakes on the ground, but there's a lot, and timber
Mhm.
rattlers. Exactly, they call them timber rattlers for a reason. You look up, and there's one right here, and it could pop you right in the face. And then what are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah.
So you've got to have your head on a swivel out there for everything,
Yeah.
not just whatever you think might be out there. Yeah, a show like that would be awesome to do.
Yeah, I think I want to do that. Um I don't know, I have some other ideas coming up, and I just started a book.
Are
So,
you writing one?
yeah.
Oh, awesome! That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm writing a book. And I don't want to really talk too much about it, but it's
Understood.
going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got lots of stuff going on. Lots too much actually. I got my huge time consuming project completed today, so I am booting up tomorrow to go talk to some cryptids and Apple. Oh, yeah? You're doing that, Amber? She is so brave. Amber, what do you think about doing a show with me and Robin and Dina? What do you think about that? Are you on board with that? I think it would be really cool, Amber. I think it would be a lot of fun. Because Amber and her, since they share like a lot of the same abilities, it's going to be interesting to see them. Oh, yes. Yay. Good. I'm
Yay!
glad you like it. Yay. I think it's going to be really interesting to see Amber and Robin just, kind of, you know, because Robin's been doing this ever since she was, I think, 4 years old, she said. Like, as far back as she can remember, she's been able to see them and talk to them. And so she's had a lifetime to learn about them and ask them questions and build relationships with them. And Amber, when was it you had your first, wait, what? I want to share my big news, but still have a few loose ends to tie up. Then I'll share it hopefully in the next 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Um, and Amber's pretty much most of her life as well. Yes, Ray.
Yeah.
You want to come and be a part of that think tank? You deserve to be there. You deserve a spot, lady.
If you can get her on the show, I'll bake you a cake.
Ah, okay. Is she like Mr. Lee? She won't come
Kinda,
on?
yeah.
All right. Amber was 5, and it was with the UFO. So, and she's having a lot of UFO activity going on recently. And she has guys got to check her channel out too, Amber's Para World. She has a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, she really does. Like she went to Lake Shawnee. She did a whole like series from there. She's oh my gosh, she's so creative and does so much. She comes up. Uh, I think because she's in West Virginia, and are you in West Virginia or you're where are you at, Lee?
I'm in Virginia.
You're in
Yeah.
Virginia.
Hmm.
So she goes to all these like different places that around y'all that she's you know
Are you talking to me, Ray? Are you talking to me?
Are you talking
Hmm.
to me? But yeah, I think that would be a really cool show.
It
Get
would
these
be.
ladies together. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have a Paracon, Outcast Paranormal, also an amazing channel. Go check their stuff out. They have some amazing work that they've got going on too. And they are holding a Paracon in the Panhandle in Tallahassee. So we're going to go up to that and be there for that. And in beginning of November, we're going to someone's property. We've been invited to go to a property and do an investigation there. And I think we're going to hit uh, another person's property that we have been invited. Um, both of these places we've been invited. We didn't reach out to them first; they invited us. So I want to make that clear because I feel like. So I'm not gonna say I feel like it's happening. It's happening. There are a lot of experiencers that are going through something right now where people are having to take down their channels that they have put their evidence up because people are trying to dox them. People are trying to get their information and find out where their location is and go and cause trouble. And it's very, very, very serious that this stuff is going on. And I know that um, you know, if somebody doesn't invite you onto their private property, you better be very, very careful.
Hmm.
Okay. Because a lot of these people will protect themselves. You're on their property, you're
Yeah.
trespassing, be very careful doing stuff like that. you know, I mean, I am aware of of a few groups that asked to go to this particular property that we were invited to go to. And the property owner has said no. And it's for good reason. So if they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel comfortable. Just and people think this is this is what I don't get. Okay. People think that they have to go to special places to find these beings.
Yeah, that's the part that really gets me.
They think
Yeah.
they have to go to the top of mountains, and you do not. You
Nope.
do not.
Mm-mm.
You do not. Find I had my most recent sighting at an area where it's frequented by tons of hikers, lots of trails, lots of hikers. They love us. We are their
Yes.
television.
Yes,
And it
indeedy.
will come to you. You do not have to seek them. Now, what I will also say is that if you're not pure of heart and you don't come with respect, you're not going to see shit, hear shit, find shit, nothing.
Thank you.
Telling
Thank
you
you.
right now,
Or if you
you're not.
do, you're going to get an experience you wish you never had.
That's right. If you have a huge ego and you think you know it all and you think you,
That's where I was at.
all
That's
you're
where I
gonna
was at.
get, all you're gonna get are blurry pictures.
Yep. 10 miles away from where I live at right now in a national forest that are eat up with hiking trails and primitive camping sites.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I've gotten all of my evidence.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is that I did a test, and I might have told this story before, but I'm off trail, literally maybe 10 foot, 10, 15 foot off the trail. That's it. And well, Marty, did we lose you? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Well,
Again,
hi.
it's.
Oopsie.
Do you think it's a three-letter agency?
Dude, it could be.
I
It
don't know what
could.
happened.
It could be. It's like the night I got kicked off, and I couldn't. I couldn't stop my show. My show kept going, and I couldn't turn it off. It was like 9 hours of nothing.
Oh, that was the night that, yeah, because I was in there and we were all, yeah, and I was like, what happened? What happened? Where, and I'm like, I hung around for a little while and I'm like, I don't think he's coming back.
I was able to get into chat on my phone, but I couldn't shut it down. I was like, great day. It was all going through StreamYard. Huh. Anyway.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? I did it
Well,
disappear again.
I was standing about 15 feet off the freaking trail. Just standing there. And I've had people walk right past me and not even see me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, and I wholeheartedly believe it. Like if you are there with you know uh, an open heart, an open mind, and
Mm-hmm.
respect, I think eventually, and I'm telling you, just go on just go hike, go find a
Yeah.
trail someplace, just find a trail. Don't go alone. Don't go alone, but just go hiking. They watch us. They're curious creatures. They're curious. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said creatures. They're beings, curious beings. And if you ask me, the Sasquatch that's all of a sudden been talking to me the last couple darn days, she's very funny. Very, very funny. I mean, no, that won't work. It's not red enough. Like, what?
It's not red
Okay.
enough.
It's not red enough.
Good
Like,
day.
yeah.
It's like that. They can sense intention.
Mm.
Wolves. There you go.
Yep.
They say that a pack of wolves can tell when a rogue wolf enters or another pack enters their territory from about 5 miles away. How is that possible? They sense intention. If you've been standing in the Everybody, if you've been standing in the grocery line at the local Walmart and all of a sudden you get this feeling like you're being watched and you turn around and somebody's staring a hole through you,
Hmm.
that's intention. That's what they do, and they've got that sense over us 100-fold.
And
You know.
interesting that Ray mentions that all vibrational frequency begins with the thought.
Hmm.
One of the things that Robin had said in the show was, because I asked her about it. Matt and I have been thinking for a little while now that their cloaking could possibly have something to do with their frequency vibrating.
Hmm.
And it was interesting that she said that. That is how they are able to portal, go interdimensional, and cloak. It has to do with them, the vibrational frequency and them beginning to vibrate, and that they have an ability to raise their vibration, and that's how they do it, which made a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely. I've kind of described it this way before, in the realm of vibrational frequency and multidimensional space, uh, being in two places at once. It's like
Mhm.
you've been riding down the road. You're traveling.
Yeah.
You're listening to your favorite radio station. You're getting out of range of your favorite radio station, and all of a sudden, that radio station and another radio station are actually overlapping and occupying the same space. At some
Mhm.
point in time, they were sharing the same frequency and one took it over. And to me, that's how I try to explain to people how I look at how they're able to move from one place to another. It's always there. It's just we can't see it.
Mhm.
That frequency, the vibration is just different. And they're able to move from one place to another. Um, I used to laugh at the portal idea, and the more I look into it, the more I think, I was pretty dumb for laughing at that. Um, they can they can do all kinds of stuff, and for us to dismiss it is once again a part of our hubris as humans. It's ego,
Mhm.
and but yeah, it, they can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I keep thinking, okay, I'm making some progress. I have some answers, and then I just have more questions.
Absolutely. For every one question you get answered, you got four or five more you've got to answer. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
just keep coming.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, I just got
It's,
like a text or something.
I'm reading Amber's chat here. Portals are real.
Okay.
There's a lot of different types, though. Some used by spirits, demons, some used by goat man, bird man, Bigfoot, etc. Yep, I believe that.
Amber has so much on her property. Everything. She's got it all. She's got it all going on. You guys got to check out her channel. She's documents all of it. It's insane.
I absolutely will.
The thing is, we can cloak too. I know that's true. Ask them. I guess I'm gonna have to ask her. I'll ask my girl. I'll ask my Sasquatch girl.
You know, when Birdman coming through a portal, I want to see that.
Hmm.
I'm
You
open to
should
all kinds of stuff, man.
you should have Amber on your channel.
I would love to have her on. I would love to have her on. Let's sit down and have a talk because I've been doing a lot of research into consciousness, you know. And
Hmm.
when Ray said energy and vibration begins with a thought, it's in this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
See, Tony's talking about what we were talking about earlier. String theory explains a lot of occult happenings. Magic with a K is simple science not yet understood. That's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ray, I love you. I use a
yeah,
blanket to cloak. I love her. Blah.
yeah, I get that a lot.
I know.
And occasionally I'll get a STFU.
All right,
Mm,
Amber. She says, yes, we are all here to raise our own consciousness beyond that of what we've been taught and what we've known.
amen. Yes, indeed. Likeness. That right,
Yes.
Ray? You come together and have these conversations. You dive deep into topics that a lot of people are really afraid to talk about. I mean, what we're talking about now are taboo in certain circles. I
Hmm.
mean, and I don't understand why.
What'd she say? Because I really
I
do
really do
laugh.
laugh like that. Yeah,
Once our consciousness and vibrations are raised, you won't doubt anything any longer. You'll be looking for mermaid riding Bigfoot. Yeah,
it's true.
it
It's
is.
true.
It is 100%. I think when I talked to you, I was like, I think I believe in everything. There's not anything I don't believe in anymore because I, I I I don't know. I just have craziness that happens in my life. It's like I said to somebody this week, I'm like, I had this and this and this and this and this happen. And I'm like, but nothing really weird, nothing too weird really happened this week, just a Sasquatch speaking to me. And, it's been a really boring week, actually. It's always so much going on.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I need to get back out there. Yes, I am. I'm very close to the West Virginia border. I'm like maybe an hour away. I got kinfolk that live in Beckley, so it's not that far away.
Find your tribe. That's right.
Hmm.
Jessica Jones calls it your soul tribe.
Yeah, our channels really aren't for everybody. I've noticed how I'll pick up a few subscribers here and there, and then
Hmm.
lose a few subscribers here and there. It's like, yeah, it's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
and I'm okay with that too. Listen, all I
Mhm.
want, I don't need to be monetized. I don't. I just want my community tab. I just need 500.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I just need
What
that. I want my community tab.
what I don't get is I don't see how you don't have 500 subscribers by now, because your view
Thank you.
count your view count exceeds your subscriber count
I
every
know.
time.
Every
It's
time.
crazy. It's
Every
that's
time.
I love it, and you've got great content.
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
It's the algorithms, and it's how they promote you. If you're not throwing money at YouTube to promote yourself, they're not going to promote you with our current content.
Hmm.
They've labeled us conspiracy theorists, and they're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know Matt tells me all the time. He's like, Mom, you got to be careful because they're gonna flag you. And I'm like, I mean, I just want my community tab, man. That's it. Like, the bar is low as hell. You know, like I just want my
yeah,
community tab. That's all.
yeah, yeah.
That
Gina,
is not people leaving your channel if you don't comment in the section. then they take you off. It isn't enough to hit the thumb up and chat you to commit or they remove you. Wait, what?
Huh.
Wait, what did she say? I don't, if you don't comment in the section.
Well, I know commenting, the comments also add to, your
Mm-hmm.
promotion and the algorithm and all blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they did that.
So it's not enough to hit the thumbs up and
Hmm.
chat. You have to you have to commit or they remove you. Comment or they remove you. Huh. Interesting. Cuz I actually had somebody, I had a couple of friends that had said, "Hey, I don't know what happened. I cuz I there was a I was not quite at 200 and I kept bouncing back and forth like for like a couple of weeks with just like 5 or 6 people. I'd gain 5 or 6, I'd lose 5 or 6. I'd gain 5 or 6, I'd lose 5 or 6. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what is going on? And people were like, oh yeah, oh, they're probably just like, getting the bots or something. And I'm like, I don't have enough traffic to but no, I don't know. It's weird.
Amber says, "How much longer are you going to be on?" Should have sent me a link. Wow.
Yeah, you want me to send it to you right now, Amber? Do you have time? I'll send you the link. Do you have time to jump on? You're right, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, do you have time? Actually, let me do that. Hold on. Right. Hang on a second.
Here comes the round table. Come on, Ray. Hey, I'm going to jump off here for just a second. I'll be right
Sure,
back.
sure. Yep. Amber, I sent you the link. I just sent you the link. Exactly, Ray. Tell her. Amber, get your ass on here. What else do you have to do on a Saturday night, Amber, but hang out with friends? I just sent it to you. I messaged it to you. My gosh, it's so hot in my house. It's miserable. This heat in Florida is so bad. You want some spots to investigate out here in Illinois. Hey, Mid South, how are you, hun? How you doing? Are things going well with you? Eddie, listen, I'm telling you right now, dude, like all you have to do is go camping. You don't have to go hiking. You don't have to go trekking through woods and all. Just go camping. Go camping, set up your camp, put your tent up, make a nice little fire, have some friends, cook some bacon, and sit back, joke around. Don't, just enjoy yourself and they will come in. But when you go, make sure you go there with respect and you just say to them, literally, talk to the wood line, man. Just do it because that's what we do. And just say, hey, I'm here. I respect you. I know this is your home. And go with that intention. Set your intention when you get there. Before you even do anything, before you put your camp up, when you get out of your car, go and just say, hey, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here, go and set the intention and then just enjoy yourself. for the weekend. I'm telling you, you will see. Night one is always the most active. Every time we've gone out, night one has always been the active night. Night two, not so much. Night three, they're out of there. They seen you. They got they got your number, and they're like, okay, we're not, unless they have some juveniles that like to kind of hang around and, you know, have some fun. But set your intentions. And Amber, I did send you the link, hun. So whenever you're ready. But yeah, just go out camping. You don't need a quote unquote active spot. You don't need to go to private property. You don't need to travel hours away from you. I'm telling you. Just go camping. That's it. Go camping or go on a hike. Hello, Arctic Cat. I didn't see Arctic Cat. But Arctic Cat, oh, there you are. Welcome, Arctic Cat. You're new to the channel. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Tony, let's see, Tony, what you got to say, my friend? I said the same thing about my original music. It's not for everybody. If you can get it, then it's awesome. If you can't get it, then that's your deal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Hello, Miss Amber.
Hey.
Howdy.
Hello. I couldn't figure out how to get on here for the longest time. I haven't used StreamYard. I haven't went live forever.
Yeah. You do a lot of premieres.
Yes, I have 2 this week. So
Mm-hmm.
I went randonauting for the first time last night. Well, I tried it last year and it didn't work. It just kept taking me in people's backyards, rednecks with weapons. I'm not going there. But it actually worked out pretty well last night. It was cool.
Yeah. I haven't tried to do. Is that kind of like geocaching a little bit?
I have no idea what geocaching is. It's like an app. You just it gives you random spots. You think of an intention and then it will tell you where to go. Like it doesn't give you the actual address. It just tells you how to get there. So we did that about midnight last night.
Okay.
It was fun.
Did you run into any like cool dead people?
Yes. Oh my gosh. This lady scared me. You can hear them all through the video.
Really?
This one lady was just coming at me and like, she was crazy. I don't know what was going on with her. So in the video, you hear me yelling at her. I'm like, stay. Don't even think about getting in the car. Like, I've got enough here. Yeah. I don't want her here. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was fun.
Well, that's cool.
So you've got a lot of activity on your property?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. I was just I'll have to send you some pictures, Marty. I was just in the woods 2 days ago. I was working. My goat, I have one goat that will jump like a 6-foot fence. So I've been trying to fix everything so she can't get out. I mean, their pen is like 5,000 feet or something. It's huge. So I'm up in the woods. I saw something moving and I'm like, maybe it's a deer. But then I know that we tend to do that. We brush things off as like something else. So I went up there with my camera and I saw this gargoyle looking thing and I've got it a picture of it. Then this white thing with horns climbing down a tree. I've got a photo of that. I've got so many photos from it. They were all just like out saying hi.
Oh my God.
They don't really scare me anymore. They used to, but I think at some point when we deal with stuff like this, we have to learn to be like, this is my place too. You either like it that I'm here or you have to go, go somewhere else.
Absolutely. Ley lines. Have you researched ley lines on your property?
Oh, good point.
I don't know where to start because I have thought about that, but I'm not sure. I Googled it, but I couldn't find any information. So I'm not sure where to go to find that.
Yeah, it's really vague when you do that. I don't know. I guess taking a EMF detector or tricorder or something like that and going around your property and seeing if you get different measurements, if you can, and kind of triangulate it. That's the only
Okay.
thing I can
See,
know. I know to
that would
do
be
that.
easy. Okay, that would be easier than trying to
Yeah.
research stuff, because a lot of the things aren't written down. Like a lot of things, I was told that the Shawnee tribe used to stay here like years ago, and I've heard drums in the woods like years and years ago. I would hear drumming in the woods in the middle of the night, and I have two ancient entities on my property, and they're like 20 feet tall, and they're all black with red eyes, and I've never seen them anywhere else except when I went to Lake Shawnee, and there were Shawnee tribe there. So I think they're connected to the Native Americans somehow, in some way or another, because it kind of makes sense. You know, they're here, and the Shawnee were here, and I saw them there too.
So the Shawnee used to migrate through this part of the country too. I mean, my old high school mascot was a Shawnee.
Oh
I
wow,
was a,
that's awesome.
yeah, I was a Shawnee for a long time. But yeah, that's a distinct possibility. You know, a lot of people dismiss it as folklore and superstition, but they have the the Native Americans have always had a real spiritual tie to the land. They lived off of it, and it just makes sense for that to carry on. So you could be right.
Oh my gosh, somebody's got a four-wheeler out here revving it up.
So I did see you earlier in the chat. You had said that because she has Amber has a Sasquatch that she also communicates with on her, and didn't you said that he said he doesn't like the aliens though, right?
Yes, because one night I did this channeling session with him. I'm like, you know what? If I can connect with all these other things, I'm gonna try it with him, and it worked. But I could hear him. Like it was like I could hear him talking just like you and I were talking. And I had my phone on the couch and I recorded it. He doesn't talk like we do, but he says words. They're not like in complete sentences at all. But it was like an immediate no. As soon as I got the words out of my mouth, it was no. But then again, there's
Wow.
so many different species of Sasquatch, Bigfoot. You know, maybe some are linked to them and some aren't. You know, just like people are hereditary, or our ancestry is all different. You know, so I don't
Yeah.
know, but I know this one. He said he didn't like him.
Well, Robin had explained last week on my show that they all have these abilities, but that there are some clans that don't use certain abilities. So if they're raised in a clan that doesn't use specific abilities, like I'm just going to pick one, like cloaking, right? If they don't even know that they can do it because in their clan they don't use it, or they don't, for whatever reason, they don't want to use that ability. So their offspring don't even know that they can do it. And she said that a lot of them are kind of, when they grow up and they move on to other clans, that sometimes that's when they find out that they have these abilities, and depending on the clan that they're in. So I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like with people. Certain families have certain traditions and they stick with it,
Mm-hmm.
and other people have other ones. So
Mm-hmm.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like how some people are gifted with they can play musical instruments. Other people couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. And it's just it makes perfect sense.
That is me. I'm a professional car singer, and that's it.
What's been going on, Amber? I saw you did a premiere with there was some alien footage and things that you had going on at this was at your friend's house that lives near you, right?
Yes. She's my neighbor, but like where we live out in the country, you know, we all have a couple acres, so I still drive to her house. It doesn't take me, 30 seconds to drive there, but yeah, it happened on her property. Earlier this year, when I had the experience with the extraterrestrials that came inside my house. Those ones scared me, and that was the first time I'd seen them like face to face. That's when I was like, well, okay, I need somebody to help protect me. And that's when I started reaching out to the Bigfoot here. You know what I mean? Well, he doesn't like that, but that's when I started reaching out to him, and I'm like, can you help keep him away from, coming in my house? So far I haven't had him here again, but that could be why they're not coming back here. But we've had experiences like with, and I think it's some type of ET with like these glowing orbs. They used to come here, like I'm talking like 20 years ago, and they were like big, like basketball sized, and they would float real slow and just sit in the trees, and we just watch them, and they would glow different colors.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we would just sit and watch them. I don't know what it was exactly, but it might just be the area. It might just be me. I don't know. I can't figure it out yet.
That's something I don't think I've ever had any encounter with, is the orbs. Yeah, that's fascinating.
And there's a big difference in like orbs like you get in photos. Like when you're at a haunted location, you can get these orbs. But and then actually see one that's like this huge one, they radiate their own light and they glow. And the fairies here glow too. Like they have like this light stream that comes off the back of them, and they're really cool.
Wow.
We have everything here. I've got videos on like TikTok of fairies jumping on my car and playing on the tires and running up and down the road.
They're cute.
So you're the Golden Corral of paranormal. You got a big buffet.
Yeah, she could put Skinwalker Ranch out to shame. Like seriously, she's got it all.
That's amazing.
But at this point in my life, it's like I want to experience it all. Like I want more. You know what I mean? I want to experience everything as much as I can. I mean, that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
We're not here to work our life away and barely make it and be tired all the time. I mean, I know that's life for people, but we're here to know ourselves and to know what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Did your friend...
And that is my plan.
Lee, did your friend Buck ever figure out what was going on with his paranormal stuff that was happening to him?
I think that's still an ongoing thing. He hadn't really figured it all out yet. No. He was in chat. I don't know if he's still there or not.
Yeah, I saw him early on. Buck, are you still here? So did any of my friends that have passed over come and see you today, Amber?
They did not.
But I'll tell you, I talked to my the friend that came to see you the last time when we had our show.
Uh-huh.
I spoke to his wife, and she finally watched that show, and she said that the rose that you mentioned that you were seeing, she said that was always his thing, and that he would always, bring her roses for, big stuff, little stuff, just because. And
that's
when you
awesome.
said that, yeah, she yeah, it drove her to tears, but happy tears, good tears. Yeah. It was good. It made her, yeah, she was very appreciative.
Our loved ones are always closer than we think they are. I mean, we're human. We want to see people face to face, and we want to touch them and feel their warmth. We want that. But I mean, it's hard losing people, but they're still there. It's I'll have sessions with people that are, really upset because, they're missing somebody. And then I'll see them like, been touched on the arm. And I'm like, are you getting chills? Like, have you been feeling something touch you? And they're like, yeah, I don't know what. I'm like, that's them giving you a message. They're trying to say, hey, I'm here with you. But we miss those so many times because we try to brush it off as something else.
Yeah, I don't think that we're paying enough attention to our surroundings. That's what I think. We don't pay enough attention, because I know that when I started paying attention, I started noticing a whole lot.
Yeah, your situational awareness goes beyond just what's around you physically,
Yeah.
and a lot of people just fall short of realizing that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, when we have experiences and you tell somebody, then you have that one friend that makes fun of you and wants to think you're crazy or laugh, and then people kind of hide how they feel or what they experience. And it's like we gaslight each other with our experiences rather than just having an open mind and being there for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I know that I have been blessed with people like Amber in my life, and meeting Robin, and a lot of and Jessica Jones, and a lot of these like amazing people who have all these amazing gifts and abilities that it's and they use them, they use their abilities, they use their gifts to help people. They're not out there trying to seek all this like fame and fortune and whatever, and they use these gifts and abilities to help other people, and that's what I think it's about.
Oh, absolutely.
I like what Ray said. She said, "We don't know where we're going because we don't know where we've been." Uh, mm,
Mm-hmm. I know. Amber did a past life reading for me, and it was interesting because there were several past lives that I had, and when she did the reading, we talked about some of them. And Amber, didn't you say that I was a teacher? That one of them I was a teacher.
Yes.
I want okay, because Robin confirmed that on my show last week.
yeah, that's something I've been interested in my past life. I've had several dreams. You know those dreams that are more real than real, where you are
Hmm.
there. It's not. Mm,
Hmm.
it's the only other way I can. It's more like a vision than a dream. You're actually somewhere else. It's like your astral projection it's in another time, or you're seeing it there.
Hmm.
Here lately I've been really interested in that. I've been thinking about doing that regressive uh, hypnotherapy.
Hmm.
Lee, you can do that yourself. Go on YouTube, search some past life meditations.
Okay.
There's even astral projection night meditations you can listen to that are like 8 hours long. But there are so many of them. And if you're not used to meditating, definitely do like a chakra clearing, negative energy clearing one first before you kind of dive into that, because we tend to hold on to people's energy, other people, and you don't want to like do something like that with someone else's energy on you. Okay, if that makes sense. You want to work with
Oh
your own,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
look it up. There's hundreds of them. If somebody's voice annoys you or you don't like it, turn it off and find a new one. It has to resonate with you. Yeah, you could totally do that yourself.
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought I needed somebody else to help me through that.
Well, Amber could definitely give you a past life reading. She could do it because there
What's
was
all,
there was. Go ahead.
so what's all involved in that? I mean, how do you do that? I'm not, I'm just getting acquainted with all this.
As far as readings go, people
Yeah.
do it different ways. I have a deck that I use. Um, there's other people, and I'll use my dowsing rods too, or my pendulum. But other people can. There's some mediums that can do it with just channeling into one of your past lives without anything. Um, I'm working on that, but there's
You were dead
it's hard
on.
it's hard to do for me, sometimes it's hard to start a new thing, with everything that's going on. So I'm working on it, but yeah, you have to be ready for it too, because a lot of people are going to be like princes or princesses in a past life, and most likely you were like hanged to death and starved or stoned to death. I mean, it could be something horrible. So you have to be ready for it. But if you're already having dreams like the way you say you are, then I would start from there, because a lot of people have the gift of having dreams, to show them things. So that's something you could definitely do. And it may not happen the first time. It might take 2 or 3 weeks of doing it every single night. It may just take the first try. I mean, and then you can always just kind of put it out there, manifest to see different ones.
Okay. I'm going to try that. Probably start tonight, actually.
And listen to Tibetan singing bowls. Listen to like meditation of just that, like in your ears, like with earbuds, like, because I literally last week I was meditating. I put it on, and it was a 3-hour long meditation guide, like just of the singing bowls for like 3 hour long. So I definitely saw, how like people talk about that they're like floating above a room and watching doctors like, work on them, and they have all these near, that's what it felt like. Like I was literally above looking down at me, at myself. But what was happening in what I was seeing, I was actually feeling in real time. And I thought that it was only maybe like I had to stop. I had to just stop. And I'm like, I can't do this. This is too weird. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at here. This is very weird. What is going on? And I pulled myself out, and I look, and more than an hour had passed by.
Wow.
I thought it was 10 minutes, about 10 minutes. And I talked to Jessica Jones about it, and she said that because the impression that I got when I pulled myself out and stopped it, the first thing that came to my mind was that I was watching myself in another timeline. Not that it was a vision, not that it was a dream, not that it was that I was seeing myself in another timeline. That's what, and she confirmed that that's probably what I was, where I was at. But
that's
if
really
I didn't,
awesome.
Isn't that cool? And
it is.
Matt has been telling me that ever since we started doing the Estes method, and he's like, it's probably going to start really waking up your abilities. And boy, has it ever. It has, that my meditations have changed. Apparently I'm speaking with the Sasquatch now. Amber, did you hear that? That was cool,
yes.
huh?
That's awesome.
So like, yeah, a lot of very cool things are happening, and I've been happy about it. I had a really trying week too at work, and had a fender bender this week, and and now the parts for my car are months away, and it's just been a trying week. But
don't, as hard as it is, don't spend your energy on things you can't change right now.
Nope.
Live in the now. And a lot of us forget to do that. It's hard to do sometimes, but if we're constantly worried about something else, you're not going to have the best life you can right now, tomorrow, or the next day. And we need to have the best life we can.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't dwell on it. I didn't. It took me about 24 hours. I needed 24 hours to regroup. But after that, I was like, all right, it's what it is. Can't change it. Yep. I didn't get a ticket.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I never get out of tickets. I swear, it's either because I laugh too much when they pull me over, or I'm like, if I really didn't do something, I've had that happen like one time, a long time ago. I got a ticket for speeding, and I wasn't speeding. I knew I wasn't, and I'm like, do you think I'm stupid? Like I wasn't doing what you said I'm doing. He's like, well, you can just, I'll see you in court. I'm like, let's go. So I had to pay like $200 for that one.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't usually get out of tickets either. It never fails. I always get some, but I didn't. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, I was blessed. Big time.
There was a time
So,
about a year and a half ago that I had this dream that I got pulled over,
uh-huh.
and we had to go somewhere. Had my daughter with me in the car, and next thing you know, I see the lights behind me, and I'm busting out laughing. And the cop gets up there, and he's like trying to talk, and I'm sitting there laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I'm like, I knew this was going to happen because I dreamed about it last night, and I had my haunted doll sitting in the seat beside me with the seatbelt on her, and he was probably like, oh
You
my god, you guys ought to see this lady I just pulled over today.
you had Heidi
Yes.
with the seatbelt on
We
her.
took her to a fast food restaurant the other day, and my daughter sat her in the chair, and people
She
were
has this
probably staring at us.
she has a haunted doll named Heidi, and she takes her everywhere. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, there's a few places she won't go with me anymore, and she'll tell me, she's like, nope, not interested.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because it's
She's
like
like,
whatever that demonic thing that I call him the shapeshifter, but he was like this demonic thing. And I had reached out to Matt a few times, and you know, when I was trying to
yeah.
deal with this thing, but at some point he couldn't get in my house, and he still can't. Like, you know, it's protected. He can't get in here. But I was trying to I was working on my project the other day, and I'm like trying to connect with Heidi, and I'm like, what happened? Because I really want to know exactly what went down, because all I know is he took them somewhere. You know, he actually took them away from me. And I guess the way I figured it out was that he couldn't get inside, so he made them come outside, and he told them me and Charlie Ann had been gone somewhere. I don't know where we were, but he pretty much lied to them and said that he's got us, and they had to kind of give up themselves for us. And they did. Her and Paul, the one that I brought home from the beach, they did. And he put him in this like realm that was just blackness. It was just all dark, and they were going to just stay there forever. Like, it took a while to get them back. It's been crazy. Like, I've had some experiences that people would probably just think I'm insane, you know. But
Yeah. So it makes her much more cautious now. So she's
yes,
a little gun
yes,
shy.
Good Lord.
yes. She's like, I just want to stay home. She'll go some places with me, but like, she didn't want to go to Lake Shawnee. She was not about that. She didn't want me to go either, and I probably should have listened to her.
Yeah. 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 Because you reached out to me after that too.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
that was crazy.
Yeah. And then I confirmed a few things for you as well. So yeah, like, it's good though, you know, when you have people that you can just like reach out to, and yeah, I sent my guardian to you to help with that particular whatever, and I want to talk about him. But she when she came back, she I want okay, so I'm going to use the term she was injured, because I don't know any other term for it. I don't know any other words to describe it. All I know is that when she returned back to me, when she was very weak. Her energy was not as strong. I I knew she was here, and I knew she was back, but there was something way off with her. So I just pulled out my dowsing rods, and I just asked her, you know, like, I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she told me no. But it was like when she was moving the rods. Usually, if I ever do a session with her, I mean, rods are flying open and closed, and I mean, they're just, you know. But it was very faint, very. It's like she didn't have the energy to move the rods, and so basically what I did is I pulled out every crystal, every stone, everything I own, and I cleansed every single thing, charged everything, and put them all out for her. And that way she just started drawing and gaining her energy back from, and drawing it from all the crystals and the stones that she needed at that time.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it
I
took
feel so bad.
no, it wasn't your fault, but it took a few days, and
Did she ever tell you what she saw?
No. No. Mm-mm. And all I, I don't know. She's not like said anything, but I knew something was off because I knew, like, I know it sounds crazy, people, but it's kind of like when they're around you, you feel them around you. And when they're gone, like when they're gone, and it's not like I sent her there against her will, everybody. It's not like that. I asked her if she would like to go and help Amber with this particular entity. She went of her own free will. It's not like she would, fought with me about it. She went, and it was like, but I knew she came back, but I knew something was off. I knew something was going on. And then when I pulled to do a session with my rods, and she could barely move them. And I was like, okay, so this is, but it's like 3 days later, about 2-3 days, it took her about 2-3 days. And then she was back to normal. I felt
that thing is definitely crazy.
Bad news.
And I feel so bad because at first I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt of being a human spirit, because I've seen human spirits do weird things, like show themselves different ways. And I'm like, oh, even though he looks like this, or he just turned into this giant band-sized snake in front of me. But then it didn't take long to really figure it out, but
yeah.
We actually had a run-in with him again recently. I was able to send him away for a while, but then he came back. Right. He still couldn't get in nobody's house, but we could like hear him. Mm-hmm. And I pretty much went over there. I had like Florida water. I had like my salt water. I had whatever I thought I needed. And I'm like, bring it on, buddy. I'm here. You can't hurt me. You can't touch me. I'm stronger than you. I mean, and I don't ever condone talking like that to anybody, especially something demonic. But like I'd had it with him. You know what I mean? Like I'm done with him. Mm-hmm. I'm just done with him.
And he hasn't been back since.
No, I did pretty much a full on exorcism of the property, the house.
Right.
It's a lot. It was a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, you've been.
I hope to never have to do that again, but I mean, I probably will at some point with something else. It's kind of just comes along with it, I mean, things happen.
Yeah, because you're. I mean, and we've talked about this before. Like, when you're shiny, you're a beacon. They see you. They know you have abilities. They know. You attract. Positive things, but you can also attract negative things, which is why a lot of people gotta, have to understand that there are things out there in this world that can harm you. Like if you aren't protecting yourself, you have to be careful. It's super important to understand the energies, to figure them out and do energy work. You have to do it because, you're opening yourself up to things when you do this kind of research that and live these lifestyles. You're opening yourself up, and
and it's always a learning process. Always.
Yes,
always.
I learn things so often, but it makes me wonder. Like, I can tell almost immediately if something's comes home with me anymore. But it makes me wonder how many people go to the grocery store or go somewhere and they're angry all the time and having a horrible life, that have attachments, that have no idea. They're so oblivious to anything paranormal that they wouldn't even know it, I'm sure it happens way more than I want to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just, I've been sensitive my whole life, but I've never really, what we call, embraced it. I've ignored it. And it's just here lately that I've realized just that I really need to do something about it. If I need to protect myself. It's like we were talking earlier, Marty. I let myself get wrapped up in my research, and I did not protect myself. And people don't understand how, you know, you you have so many people preach about Ouija boards and tarot cards and all this other stuff, opening doors, and they just don't understand that you can open doors in different ways. You always
You
have
could
to
open your
protect
front door to
yourself.
something and not even know it and step right into it, you know?
Exactly, exactly. And people don't understand that.
I know
It's
people
things
that's
you can
read
invite
tarot
into your
cards for
life.
years and never had a paranormal experience, you know? I mean, it just...
Right, right. So, I mean, but yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm still in the infant stage of this.
And you
Really.
know, the thing is with you, especially like, if I could offer any advice, make it a habit to protect yourself, even if you're just going to the store. Because whenever I got the attachment from Lake Shawnee, it was my fault. And I realized it like once I left there, because I had protected myself really well when I went in. I had to leave because my flashlight died and I had to go find a flashlight. I left the property and I didn't re-protect myself when I came back in, and that place requires it. And so I opened myself up to it, not no, you know, like completely oblivious to, you know, at the time I didn't even think about it, and and that's all it took. But we have to do it every time we go places. I mean, I've
Yes.
seen dead people at Buffalo Wild Wings, so I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not to that point yet, but I can sense when things happen. Things when there's a shift, in energy. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know there's a change coming. You know, it's like being able to smell the rain in the air.
Yeah.
I can tell that, and sometimes it can
It's
be
your time.
really
Take advantage of
overwhelming.
it.
Yeah.
And meditation is the best way to get you there, and to also learn to stay protected at the same time. Because once you start meditating, and like I said before, always do the negative energy clearing meditation before you dive into like a third eye chakra meditation or a crown chakra, anything like that. But that will open it up so much more than you could ever imagine.
That's good
And it
advice.
gives
Thank
you
you.
insight too. It gives you insight. Always trust your intuition. It's never going to lie to you ever.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Trust yourself.
100%. The trusting part was the hardest for me to learn, because I would things in my everyday life would happen, and I would feel a certain way, and all I could do at that point in time was I would feel, I kind of just attributed to that feels bad and that feels good, and I would just keep it to that, like, this makes me feel bad, this makes me feel good, and if it was made me feel bad, I would stop what I was doing. If it felt good, then I felt comfortable, then I felt okay, I was okay with it. But I kind of literally, I just kind of put it in, I would put feelings that would come to me in one of those two, in either of those two categories. That's what I would do in the very beginning. And now it's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Now I don't see things. I just I hear things, I feel things. I have a sense of knowing. I don't, I just know things. I don't know how I know things. Matt and I will have a conversation and I'll say something, and then a couple of weeks later he'll be like, "You were right. You
Yep.
did it again. You were right."
I'm
Okay, can
kind of
I chime in for a
almost.
second? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, no, no. Go ahead. I was just going to say I'm kind
Um,
of almost on that level right there. Not quite, but almost. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you're okay, Marty. I think you are seeing things. Okay, but you have to. I think yours are coming more in the form of like just like when you were talking to the Sasquatch. Okay,
Mhm.
you probably had this picture of what she looks like pop in your head, like just what you think she looks like.
I haven't yet.
I can, but I can.
You
Oh,
see her?
start paying. Yes, I see you seeing her. Like you're getting the images of her. Just like if I tell you right now, like imagine a blue Volkswagen Beetle, you can see it in your head. Like you're getting
Yeah.
images that way, and you may not think nothing of it. You know what I mean? Like
Huh.
Like, I wonder what so and so's doing, and then maybe you're just like see them sitting on a couch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just
Mm-hmm.
it can come that just like that.
Well, maybe that I'm working on it, like actively working on it. Maybe I'll get there, maybe what you're seeing is something that's going to happen in the future for me.
Hey, I
Yeah,
had
there's
someone
something going
send.
on.
There's
I'm
something going
sorry.
on. What
Go
is it
ahead.
you're seeing, Miss Amber?
I was chewing up a watermelon. Hold on. um,
Watermelon
I
time
just see
out.
these images flashing, but like you're the one seeing them.
Okay. Okay.
So there's definitely like I would say a grandfather figure around Lee.
A grandfather figure around Lee.
That's what he looks like to me.
That could be my dad.
Okay. This guy that I see has like a gray hair, but he's to me it looks like it could have been either thick or kind of maybe a little wave to it. That's what I'm seeing. And
Yeah.
and he doesn't seem like he's like a slender. He's not like a heavy set man. Yeah, he's around you for sure.
Yeah, he used to visit me a lot. And I haven't talked to him in a while, but he'd come visit me in my dream, and we would sit and talk, just talk, and it was good to talk to him. He's been gone now for about 18 years. It's crazy.
He said he still talks to you. Do you ever just kind of like he pops in your head and you're like, like when we think about them or looking through their things or just remembering looking at photographs, you're calling on their spirit to be with you. You know what I mean? That's how we can call on them that way.
Oh yeah.
Which is in the same fact of how you can go into the woods and kind of call on a Bigfoot, or you go to a haunted house and call on the spirits there. You're asking them to speak to you, but he's with you. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. Thank you.
He's making a reference to some kind of sport. Like, did he watch a sport a lot? Like he would watch it. I don't know. Trying to see what it is, but there's like some kind of game that he would watch. Like, I'm seeing a TV with a game on it.
Maybe baseball. He used to watch NASCAR a lot back in the day, but yeah, baseball.
But yeah, he's definitely with you. Just talk to him, just tell him, say, hey, sit down on the couch and talk to me, because he's going to listen. He's going to hear you. And you definitely need to work on the dreams, because if you're already having dreams with about different things like that, that's going to be your strong point, and you can totally you can get about the future. You can get visions of loved ones. I mean, there's no limit. Start doing meditations, and you're going to see a huge change.
I will do that. I appreciate the advice. Yeah. Let's see if I can.
And sorry to blurt it out like that. It just hits me like that sounds. So.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You mind if I see if I can share something real quick, Marty?
Sure, go for it. Yeah, no, go right ahead.
Let's see. Let's see.
And then I have to put it in there, right?
Yeah. Does that look anything like the fella that you were seeing? That's my daddy.
It's not loading on my end. Okay. I'm on my phone, so I can get zoomed in. I'll look at when we're done here, and I'll pull it up on the computer.
Okay.
Usually the way I see them is like before they, like how they were before they passed.
He looks like the description, though.
It does. And that's how I see him when he visits me. Not quite like he was when he passed, because he was balding, gray hair, but he had, when I see him now, this is kind of how he looks, only older and white hair. So,
well,
that's awesome. Cherish those visitations. A lot of people aren't good to have those, and that's amazing that you have that.
Yeah. It was one of those things where when he passed, I didn't have a chance to mourn like everybody else did, because it was one of those times where I had to be the rock for everybody. And a couple of years later, I got injured on the job, and I was out of work for like 3 months, and I was pretty much immobile, and I was like, I didn't have much to do but think. And it hit me pretty hard after that. So, and that wasn't long after that I started seeing him.
He knew you needed to see him. I mean, I've always heard funerals are for the living because the dead aren't there. And it makes a lot of sense.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple months ago, when was it? Maybe June. No, it was right around Christmas. My daughter's grandmother passed away, and she was 94. We knew it was coming, and we get to the funeral home, and I see her standing by the casket, and she was with her husband, and I've seen her wearing clothes I've never seen her wear before, because I've only known her about 10 years. And when we were leaving, I asked him, I'm like, did she ever wear these dark blue blazers and like a pantsuit? He's like, she used to wear that all the time. And that's what I saw her wearing. It was so crazy. He's like, was she there? I'm like, yeah. Just smiling away, I mean, she was there. She was okay.
Wow. Amber, you did it again. You left us speechless.
Yeah, no doubt.
I seem to be good at that lately.
Hey, Marty, I got a bunch of pictures. If you don't mind, I'd like to send you.
Yeah,
okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Damien Cott sent them to me.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna trying to forward them to you.
Okay. Is it gonna come? Are you sending it through
Messenger? Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna try to.
I'm trying. I not all. Hang on. I have a Mac. It's not always easy for me, but all right, hang on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Marty, my daughter wanted me to tell you that your hair is very pretty tonight.
Oh, tell her thank you so much.
She says, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
She is your mini me.
She is. Her attitude is way worse than mine was, though.
Let's see.
It was so funny. I was talking to somebody the other day and about spirits, and somebody I didn't know. We were out somewhere, and Charlie Ann had the dog with her and talking to him, and I'm like, you see, this is why we don't go to a lot of like the homeschool play, like the get-togethers with kids, because we want to talk about TV shows, and my kid will go up to him and be like, hey, there's this ghost that lives with us, and she's really cool.
What are these supposed to be, Lee?
Some of these are well, Damien's in chat. Damien, can you give a little
let's see if I can
reference to this?
All right, let me see.
There are some cloak. They look like there's some hidden
stuff.
People
some
stuff
of them
in there. Yes.
Okay. Okay, maybe just finding this a little bit too difficult here. Let's see. No. I don't think it's going to work out, Lee.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I can't. It's weird. It's like, okay, so like you put up that photo, right? And
Okay.
then I can, and then when you send it to me, I can share it, but I have to turn it into on my Mac. I know this sounds crazy because I don't know any other way to do it. You have to turn them into PDFs in order to share it on my end. I know that sounds crazy. Unless somebody else.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so if you can share them, or maybe you can share them and then I can add them to the stream, like we just did that last photo of your father.
If I could find. What is that?
Ugh, I have to get another pair of headphones. These things drive me crazy.
Are yours wireless or do they plug in?
Mom.
I'm going to try that, Bat Mom. Let me try that. All right, go to.
It's a lot of images.
I'm going to just try one and see if this works here. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's try one. Okay. Now let's see if I can add it. See, it's sideways. Shoot. It worked, Bat Mom. It did work. Thank you for that tip. I appreciate it very, very much. But now how do I rotate that, right? I got to rotate that. see here. It's a lot of steps for me, though. I can't find it again. I'm told you technology is not my friend.
Technology usually breaks around me. I'm not kidding you. Damien says if you give me your email, that would work for sure.
But I still have to do the same thing, though. That's the part that sucks, that I have to turn it in, and it'll only let me share it on StreamYard as a PDF with this Mac. I don't know any other way to do it. I have tried with Matt many, many, many times, but usually if I have a guest that I'm going to have photos, what I'll do is I make all the PDFs and then I add them to StreamYard and then just click them and add them one at a time.
Okay.
So Damien, here's what I will do. I will take those photos though, and we'll see if we can share them maybe on my next show or something, and we can talk about them. Or when Lee does one of his shows, he's got them too. So
yeah. I'm going to try and download some of them and convert them myself and then send them to you.
All right.
That might work better. Save you a step or two.
Okie doke.
It's a pile. It's a pile of photos. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Charlie and just subscribed to your channel, Marty.
What?
Hi in the comments. Charlie and just subscribed to your channel. Is that hi in the comments?
Oh, thank you.
Cloudy face. That's her.
There you are. You're only allowed to watch when your mom says it's okay. She's amazing. Like when you take her out on these, all of these investigations and things that you do, Amber, it's amazing to me. Like she's right in there, man. When you were doing that Estes session, the Estes method, she was like right in there, man, asking questions.
Yeah, sometimes I gotta tell her to kind of tone it down because she gets all worked up over it sometimes, wanting to get into action.
And I think it's amazing that, you're able to teach her how to protect herself and, she's going to be very powerful.
Absolutely. I think I'm trying to do that with my son, and I don't want that veil coming over him. I want him to be able to see everything the way he sees it now. And I mean, he can still see things. He understands things. He's autistic, so he's already on another level. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to hide anything from him. And I'm trying to make sure he sees all of that and he's protected.
Absolutely. So, I've had people ask me before, I can't believe you, or say things like, I can't believe you take her somewhere like that. You know what? I wish I had somebody to do that for me when I was her age and let me know that it wasn't crazy and it wasn't all in my head. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff is real. Why hide it? Why hide it? That happens to so many people throughout our lives. We have to get past that point. Obviously, I will try my best to ever keep her away from a dangerous situation with spirit. You just really can't tell anything, ever tried to attach to her or anything like that. We can handle it, we'll be good. But I want her to know what she's dealing with. I want her to know what's out there. She was, when we were at the beach, she's like, oh, she saw her mermaid and we asked the Delsing Rats and they said yes. And she was so excited, she gets to experience this stuff and I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's important because I feel like if you know that your child has abilities, my opinion, it's, you're doing a disservice to them when you're not, like you said, you're not teaching them.
Right.
I have had abilities my entire life, and I grew up and it was no, it was not something that was open for discussion in my household. So that's why I turned it off for almost my entire life. I turned it off
Yeah.
because I knew I couldn't talk. I had nobody. I didn't have, and when I was growing up, if you wanted to meet someone like yourself, Amber, back in the 80s and the 90s, like, you were going to have to pay hundreds of dollars, and 99% of the time you're probably getting I was going to say a
bad word.
and you're yeah, 9 out of 10 times you're getting a hoaxer.
Yep.
Somebody who's hoaxing you.
When I was younger, I don't recall ever really talking about like my UFO experience to anybody. I didn't run into anybody and say, "Look, I just saw this." I just kind of kept it to myself. But it was about 5 years before. Well, no, I was already born when this happened. But so my mom has abilities as well. So it was several, like some of her sisters, some of my cousins, her grandmother, my great grandmother that I never met. She would, my mom said when she was a teenager, she would see her grandma go into the bedroom and she'd take a stick and she would enchant and come out and just have knots in it. And it would be like a hard stick. Like she was doing something in there. She would hear people was like just laying a hand over them, like eating and all this stuff. But mom has the ability to have dreams. Will tell her what's going to happen. Well, this happened, I guess, like a little, maybe before I was born, and a little she would have these dreams and wake up at the exact same time every morning, like real early in the morning. And it was of her brother wrecking off the interstate on a motorcycle, and he died. And it scared her. And he actually did do that. It happened the same way she saw it. And he passed away. And when I was probably 6-8 months old. So that's kind of why she may have done that, like didn't really talk about it a lot. So I kind of, the point as I got older, I think had that not happened, she would have been more open.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
It's traumatic. Wow.
What? Yeah, so I really can't hold that one against her. So, as an adult, I'm with it. But I'm like, if you had these abilities, why did I not know about this when I was younger? I was seeing all this stuff, But
does your daughter does she see everything you see, or does she sometimes see things you're not able to see?
She has recently, it's probably been about 2 months ago, she saw this little white looking creature, human shaped, about 3 feet tall. She saw him peek his head out of one of her sheds by the goat pen. And it freaked her out. She took off running toward me. I was on the whole other side of the property feeding chickens. She told my mom about that, and my mom's like, "Oh, I saw that too earlier." And then our neighbor down the road, who has the alien encounters, she saw it that day too. I didn't see that one, but I have seen that creature in my woods when I did the whole series in my woods last year. Right. To me, he looks almost like a golem type thing, but the eyes aren't there. There's no, like, the face just kind of is blurred. But yeah, she's seen like shadow figures and stuff like that. There are times if I'm out somewhere and I'm like, "Hey, won't you bang on a window?" And she'll cover her ears. She's like, "Oh, don't tell him to do that. I don't want to hear it." and then sometimes, if she feels something touch her, she's like, "Get off me. This is my space." She'll tell him where to go. So.
I don't want to go.
She will too. She'll be like, she's very matter of fact. Bye,
Nice.
Mom. Thanks for coming. I appreciate the help earlier. I really do. Yeah, I don't know. I know I've known Matt has had abilities for a long time too, and you know, both of my sons have abilities, and Matt has chosen to embrace those abilities, and my other son has turned it off, and um, he's quite a he has he's got a lot of strong abilities, and I wish he would embrace those.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to be, everybody has their own free will, and
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, he knows he can come to me and Matt and talk about it anytime he wants to. So, at some point, maybe in his lifetime, he'll change his mind.
I wish I'd done more with mine earlier in life, but
Yeah, me too.
better late than never, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's, I guess, once you've come to the realization that all of these things are there, that they're there,
Mm-hmm.
And you do have abilities, and you do start to open yourself up in a careful way, in a safe way. Um, it just, in my experience, it seems like then there's something else that becomes available to me and open to me. Once I started really like just trusting in my gut, just trusting myself, trusting my feelings, trusting what I'm picking up. I can always pick up energies, people's energies. I can't see auras or anything like that, but I can feel the energy in a room. I can tell you a lot. If I sat there and I concentrated, I guarantee you I could tell you a lot about like every person in the room. I could say things about them, and I guarantee I'd be right. But but like at work, when we have huge corporate meetings, we had one not this past week, but the week before, and I could not wait to get out of there. Not that it was like evil or anything negative. It was just, it was a room full of, 100 property managers. Property management is
That's a lot of
stressful.
energy right there.
Yeah,
That's a
it
lot.
is very, very stressful. And when you're sitting there with 100 and something people and all that anxiety and stress in the room, by the time I
Mm-hmm.
got out of there that day, I thought I was just going to pass out. I was exhausted. Every single thing I had inside me was just, I was depleted. It
Wow.
was like anything, because I kept trying to kind of put like that bubble of light around me, and it just, I mean, it worked for a little bit, but it was just too overwhelming. It was too overwhelming. But yeah, I did a cleansing salt bath, and that's something too, Lee, that you can try. Is just, if you have a bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
just some warm water and put in some sea salt, or I use Himalayan pink salt, and I pour it in there. And there's some other things you can put in there. Maybe if you want to put some calming, like some lavender oil, a few drops of that in there to kind of also help like relax you. But just bathing in a salt bath to help cleanse all of those negative energies that you've been open to, or that have penetrated past your protections and things, like it really, really helps. Amber's done it. Like it's essential for what we do and what we're experiencing and what we're being exposed to on a daily basis. So I would try to do one, like once a week. I would do it. My self-care Sunday is what I call it. My self-care Sunday, and I do my cleansing salt bath and shake it all off, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's
Right.
definitely something with salt water. I use it too when I'm doing cleansings on homes, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll, sprinkle it on the windows and door frames. But it just cleanses. Like, I love the
Mm-hmm.
beach. I love going into the ocean and letting the waves just like, just go over me. Like there's just something so cleansing about salt water.
Mm-hmm.
It really does work.
Yeah. And not Epsom salt either. Not Epsom salt. It has to be like either sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. Like it has to be, because if you do Epsom salt, it can actually dehydrate you, make you, and especially like when you get out and it's on your skin, it continues to dehydrate you from all the. So that's not a good one. So just use like sea salt, kosher salt. I like the pink Himalayan salt. I like pink things. So.
But how much do you use? I mean,
I just pour it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just pour it in there. I don't
just
measure.
Have at it.
I have at it.
Cool.
Pour that stuff in.
All right.
Yeah.
I pour it till I can taste it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taste the water.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely. Yeah. So you're going to have Amber on your show.
Yeah, Amber, would you be willing to come on my show? We'll have a conversation about this.
Absolutely.
That would be great. That'd be great. We got to set up a time for this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be in the chat. Me and Ray will be in the chat.
Yes.
Well, we have just passed 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yes.
Wow.
It's my longest show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
so you were my first show and my longest show now. Love it. Love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Lee, for being here.
Back at you.
And, I love you, man. I just, I've been praying for you. I tell people that all the time. They think I'm crazy because I'm like, no, I pray for my community. I pray for my community. I pray for everybody out there, doesn't matter what your channel is about. You're my community. And I pray for I pray for the community as a whole and specific people. And you are one of those people because none of us, I'm just so glad that you decided to come back because we need you. We need you. You're another voice of reason that is in this crazy world with us. And you have so much knowledge and so much to share. And it's important that you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things where I was told it was time, when that fella told me what he told me, and it was just it was so spontaneous. It come out of the blue, and he told me something. He said, "I'm going to tell you something I ain't told maybe 2 people in my life." And we'd known each other for all of 5 hours, and he told me this stuff, and it just told me it's time to come back. It's time to come back.
Yeah.
So,
all in divine timing. Look at it that way.
It is. Like I was telling Marty, I was going to run my own show tonight, and then she gave me a holler and said, "Won't you come on my show?" I said, "Okay, that's it."
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have makeup on, so that's why I've had my camera off. But it was great. It was great to meet you, and this has been fun.
This has been fun. It's been great to meet you too.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for coming on. Such short notice. I truly appreciate it. You're like one of my best friends, and I love you so much, and you've helped me and Matt so much, and it's a pleasure.
That's exactly why I commented that earlier. I'm like, I adore friends like you guys because, how many people can I really message? And I'm like, there's this crazy looking thing with like 4 legs and 4 tails, and it's chasing me. What do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we're like, Amber, hold that thought. Let us get our dowsing rods.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
And I love you guys for that.
Of course. Anytime. Hey, you're the one that helped me figure out what's going on with this Native American that was like not going away. So yeah. He's still outside, by the way.
Wow.
I have so many yard ghosts right now too.
Yeah.
So.
he refuses to go back to where he came from, and I'm not going to make him, but he doesn't want to cross over. He won't let me cross him over. So he's just out in the backyard.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as he's not in the house driving my dog crazy, then it's fine. He can be right out there. He can be, be right there. He's fine.
Yeah, he's okay. If he wants to go, he'll go.
Yeah. You never know. He made shoes too one day, but I still feel him out there though. I still feel the energy. Again, I don't see, I can feel, I feel him there. Yeah. So, well, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody in the chat tonight. Everybody with all of your like comments and questions, and it has been a complete blast. And so when is your next show, Lee? When do you have
Wednesday.
8
This
o'clock,
Wednesday,
9 o'clock?
Probably about 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay, cool. Yeah. Amber, what do you got coming up?
Oh my goodness. I have a premiere Monday, but the premiere is just the TikTok live stream I downloaded while I was live at Lake Shawnee. When that thing attached to me, you could hear him talking. So it's going to look like I'm talking to people that aren't in the chat, but it was the chat, from TikTok. And then Wednesday will be my first Randonautica premiere. So the title is not clickbait. I did find a dead lady.
Wow.
She did not come home with me. It wasn't an actual body. She was in spirit, but yeah, totally found a dead lady.
Hey, clickbait's okay as long as you generate some views, right? Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I told everybody I was doing a solo show tonight. Guess what? I didn't.
Well,
I will be live at
maybe.
A Paracon in September, so that will be fun.
Do what? What did you say?
At the Madison Seminary, they're having like a Paracon in Ohio.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'll be there.
You gonna speak?
Hopefully with my new project coming up. So
I know. I can't wait for this announcement. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait. I haven't heard about it yet, so
I know. I'm so excited.
It sounds like it's interesting.
I mean, it might be. Some people might think it is, but
hey, listen. Anybody who can channel Patrick Swayze,
right?
They're going to be my best friend.
Wow.
Yeah, she channeled Patrick Swayze. Interesting. That's on her channel as well. Yes. Guys, check out. Go like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell for Raven's Outpost, Lee's channel, Amber's Paraworld, her channel. Amber's also on TikTok. Where are you? Your TikTok, are you on?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't really know how to work Instagram very well. So
yeah, I find Instagram so much easier than I do TikTok. That's for sure. It's a lot less buttons, so I make less mistakes.
Yeah, I don't fool with TikTok. I've got Instagram, but I hardly fool with it. I'm mostly uploading stuff to Facebook and the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'm looking forward to the two of you guys doing a show together, and you guys should stream it to both of your channels.
Yes, we need it. We need to get together and collab too. Go on a little investigation somewhere and.
Yeah, because
we're not that far away.
No, we're not.
You're not. You're not close to each other.
We're not. We're not that far away. We're not that far away from you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe 3.5, 4 hours. I mean, total between. I mean,
it's a day trip.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that would be
pick a spot and go investigate. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. Oh man, that'll be exciting. That will be killer. All right. Okay. I brought you guys together.
Sweet.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Excited for
now. You need to make your way up here, Marty.
I know.
We need to get together.
It'll probably be next year. I've kind of been thinking about that. I don't have any more vacation time left for the rest of the year, but because I'm booked with stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking next year you and we could plan something, and I'll come up for a few days, and do like, hi, honey. She's so cute.
She's like, let me please say hi.
Did she change her hair color?
She has blonde streaks now. It looks a little yellow
Now
in this lighting, but she got the money. What are they called?
Money strips.
Money strips.
Money
Money
strips.
strip.
That's what they
Wow.
call it these days.
Awesome. Well, thank you both again. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody hanging out here. We've been almost 20 to 30 people on and off all night in the chat. It's been popping. Ray, thanks so much. I love all of you guys. Thank you guys. Thanks, Lee. Thank Amber. You guys are great. Thank
Bye,
you guys
everyone.
so
Good
much.
night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.